What is up, my friends? We are back for the final pre-season game. The Reds taking on Como at Anfield. Want to say a massive thank you to Connor for getting up really early this morning and doing the earlier game. We didn't even know that one was at the Axis, to be honest with you, and it was only a 35-minute aside game, but he was rewarded with an absolutely amazing 0-0. Hopefully we get a few more goals this evening. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Team news is in. I'll go through it for you momentarily. No Curtis Jones in the matchday squad today. And they're not even trying to cover it up by saying it's an injury or anything. They're saying he's doing an individual programme at the AXA. And then Romano was on to say that basically, they're still working on that deal to take him to Inter. So I think that's probably the biggest hint yet that deal looks like it's going through. Cody Gakpo, well, we've a little bit we can bring you on him, but he is in the team tonight. So certainly no obvious move for him at this moment, although Spurs are in conversation. We'll tell you a little bit about that. But let's get stuck into the team. So this is what we have this evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Alisson in goal, a back four of Frimpong, Xhaka, Van Dijk and Kirkes. Midfield of Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, then Engamoa, Wirtz, Gakpo and Isak. That is the starting 11. On the bench today for the Reds, Davies, Munoz, Araujo, Neoni, Kumas, Ndai and Will Wright. So that is where we are with the starting 11s, ladies and gentlemen. Let us know your thoughts on them. Of course, we will get to as many of them as we can. Craig, you look tiny. Well, it's a different scene, mate. So yes, I will look different when we have to change the layout for each game and stuff like that. So it's not an accident; it's intentional that I'm this size in the scene. But again, we just have to change these things as we go through to take account of the new widescreen lens and a few other bits and pieces. But it's good for me. I think I'm okay. What time is the kickoff? It is a 6 p.m. kickoff, so just under an hour away till we're underway in tonight's one. And as always, your comments, your feedback, always very, very welcome. That's a pretty strong 11, so you can see that we're getting close to the start of the season here, and probably a big hint as well about what we're going to look like at the start of the season. So again, just to run through the 11 in case you're in a bit late. Alisson in goal, which is obviously good news. A back four, we've got Frimpong on the right, Kirkes on the left, Jeremy Xhaka. Finally, we get to see Jeremy. He starts alongside Virgil van Dijk. In the engine room in midfield, it's Ryan Gravenberch and Dominic Szoboszlai. Then Florian Wirtz in the number 10 role. We believe Rio on the right, Cody on the left, and Mr. Alexander Isak through the middle. Right, where are we at, ladies and gents? Good squad depth. You can win the league. Arsenal look so far so good. They look good. I watched a little bit of the Community Shield, the Charity Shield game earlier on, and they look good. Manchester City looked a little bit off it, but again, they have a new manager coming in, and that's why when everybody was asking me to predict how everybody goes this season, it's really difficult because we don't really have anything to work with for City and Maresca. So yeah, not sure how they're going to go, but you can see Arsenal are pretty much ready to go to try and defend their title. And hopefully we put in a good performance today and we look a bit sharper than we have in previous games, or at least for a little bit longer, because there's been good spells in the previous ones. Liam said, Craig, we finally get to see Xhaka in action. Who do you think starts next to Virgil against Newcastle? Much love as always. Loving the new graphics. Thank you, bro. Yeah, we did this yesterday. We ran a poll in the late night agenda last night where we asked you guys exactly that, because myself and Connor were debating it, Liam, in the podcast, and I don't think we really came to a definitive conclusion. But the chat last night leans towards Araujo to start the season, but I think if Xhaka can get through this one and not feel anything, yeah, I think maybe Xhaka is the one that starts the season with Virgil. But at least now he's available. That is good news. You know, it was a little bit worrying when we didn't have him. So this information coming in from Jack Lusby that Ndweke is simply absent today as available senior backs are prioritised. No loan imminent, but Liverpool are assessing multiple opportunities and need to nail down their decision. So nothing to worry about with Ndoko or anything like that. He's just not in the squad today because Liverpool are prioritising the senior defenders. And thank you to Jack Lusby and, of course, Keane for passing that on. Right. Does this mean Rio's our right wing for the season with Barcola on the left? I think so. Yes, I think so, mate. Now, of course, it's not conclusion or definitive proof, but it does look like Barcola will be coming into play on the left, and the best guess you can make is that, yeah, it'll be Rio on the right. We've seen Rio play on the right in the last 2 games. Okay, yeah. So Connor asked me to do something. 1 second. Sorry, folks. Bear with me 1 second. There we go. Right, Connor was just telling me to do a little bit of behind-the-scenes work that I forgot to do, so thank you, Connor, for the nudge. So yeah, let us know what you think of the new graphics and the new layout as well, ladies and gentlemen. Each match day, you're going to see a goal graphic on the screen as well when one goes in. Obviously, we like to try and keep these things fresh each season, so thank you to Connor and the team behind the scenes. Andre says you're looking sharp, Craig. Thank you, bro. We've been working really hard to try and get the images as sharp as we can. Connor's been doing a lot of research and a lot of great work as well behind the scenes to help me out on that one. So massive thank you to him. Sorry, whatever Connor sends me messages and I can't read them, so I have to pick up my phone to do it because I can't see the text on my screen from here. Theo said, love the graphics. Thank you, Theo. Appreciate you. Do you know what? I'm actually astounded, right? So I'm watching the game today on LFC TV, and I wouldn't allow the graphics on LFC TV on my channel. Now, let me know if you're watching this on your TV, on LFC TV. Answer me a little question if you can. Is the graphics on the bottom of the screen on either side cut off to you? So pre-season as an example and follow us on. Are they cut off to you guys? Because to me, that looks pathetic. And we're a little YouTube channel. Liverpool FC TV can't get the graphics to fit on the screen. That just seems wrong. Unless I've got something set on my TV wrong and it's on me. But that's why I'm checking in with you guys. Is it cut off for you guys as well? If you're watching on LFC TV. Paul said, after watching today's game, I'm convinced we dodged the bullet with Anderson for that price. Look, Anderson's a really good player. But is he... Where I would struggle in is he going to be somebody that pushes Manchester City over the line? Like you can look at Caicedo and he chips in with some goals and stuff as well there. So I understood his price tag. Anderson, I love as a player, and I'm not going to say he's not a good player, but it does seem high, like excessively high. If we're getting Barcola, why not already? Just fuck off, Bradley. Honestly, mate, I don't know what to say, mate. Why not already? Is it not obvious why not, mate? Because they're still negotiating. Is that too hard for you to figure out, Bradley? I mean, I can't be responsible, mate, nor can anybody else for how long these things take. For the love of God. I don't know what to say, Bradley, but just go moan at somebody else, mate, if that's what you're here for, because it's pathetic. Do you know what I mean? Would you rather Liverpool rushed into it, spent 20 million more, and, you know, overpaid and it stopped us getting another player? Or would you rather Liverpool try and get the best deal possible for the club and get the deal done anyway? I know which one I'd prefer, mate, and it's the one that saved Liverpool money. But it is getting done. 100% getting done. Like I've told you, it'll get done. Like I told you, Wirtz will get done. Like I told you, Isak will get done. And guess what, mate? They got done. Josh said, yes, they're cut off. Yes, they're cut off. Yeah. And that's the football club's TV channel. That wouldn't fly on a YouTube channel. If Connor put those graphics up for me, we'd be having words behind the scenes. And do you know what? We wouldn't have to have words because Connor wouldn't do that. Connor would know better than that because Connor takes pride in his work. Is this confirmed or predicted lineup? It's confirmed, mate. Now, of course, we assume that that's the positions they're playing in. But the 11 you can see on the screen there now is absolutely the confirmed one, my friend. And I'll run through the bench for you again in a minute. Just in case you haven't seen the bench today, it is Davies, Munoz, Araujo, Nioni, Kumas, Ndai, and Will Wright. The starting 11 on the screen is Alisson, Jeremy Frimpong at right back, Milos Kerkez at left back, Jeremy Jacquet and Virgil van Dijk. Then it's Szoboszlai and Gravenberch in midfield with Wirtz in the 10. We think it's going to be Cody on the left and Rio on the right. We assume that that's the way it's going to go. And obviously Alexander Isak through the middle. Jay said, when did we last sign a first team English player? Oh, God. Geez, that's a good question. Wow. Let me have a think on that one for a sec, Jay. There could be an obvious one I'm missing out here, bro, but... Oh my God, Jay, you've got me on this, mate. This is a while, right? I don't know, mate. You've got me on that one. I can't think off the top of my head. Yeah, Jimmy Milner. But I would argue Milner's not starting 11. Milner's a great squad player, but I wouldn't say starting 11. Even Oxlade-Chamberlain, I'd struggle to say starting 11 with Oxlade-Chamberlain, because genuinely I think of Oxlade-Chamberlain as a really good squad player and not somebody who, at that time, because when we signed him, we had Coutinho, and Coutinho was the one that was starting. That's a really good question. Crouchy? Fuck. Yeah, probably Crouch. Hendo, that's the answer. Hendo, Sturridge, yeah, they're the ones. Good shout. Lallana maybe as well. But yeah, it's been a while, Jay, hasn't it? Like, it really has been a while since we brought somebody in that you would consider starting 11 senior England player. You've got Henderson. What else were the chat saying there? Maybe Johnson. Yeah, it's a good question. And even at that, we're not talking about the very best of the England players, right, either. That's a really good question, Jay. Well, Jay, you've got us thinking there early doors, bro. Andy Carroll. I mean, would Andy Carroll be a starting England player, though? I mean, we've had players that have been capped for England and been in England squads, but the way I took that was somebody who was in the England 11 when the English team was out all the time. And I think a lot of the names outside of Henderson probably weren't. Sturridge would have been in and out. Johnson, yes. Glenn Johnson probably would have been in there. Joe Cole was a bit before that, but we got him at the tail end. It's a good question, you know. The fact we couldn't even score shows squad quality down. Well, I haven't seen any of the early game, Jaden. Like I said, I haven't seen. I just got up, I looked at the score, and in my head immediately went, oh, Jesus, sympathies for Connor there, having to sit through that. And 0-0. And apparently everything about the game wasn't great with regards to the camera and everything. Even the streaming of it wasn't supposed to be great. So, yeah, certainly not regretting not doing the early game. Well, we didn't sign Gerrard, mate. Gerrard was a Liverpool player through the academy, so it wasn't Gerrard. The question was, who was the last one we signed? Of course, Stevie. Yes, Stevie was absolutely in the England team. Wow, that honestly, Jay, I love that question, mate. Thank you. Victor said, hello, Craig. I'm very curious about Xhaka. Well, I'm just relieved as well, mate. I'm relieved that we have Jeremy Xhaka in the team today because, you know, I was a bit concerned that we weren't going to see him in pre-season. So it's definitely good that he's in today. I mean, they're showing some highlights of the Como game from this morning here now on the TV, and Munoz looks fairly lively in it. Yeah, see, Hams, will you stop lying with the super chats, mate? You know, you're just going to get banned. I'm not going to read it out. It's fake news, and I don't know why you're bothering, mate. It's not worth your time. It's not worth our time. And it's no need to be a shithouse. So we're going to have to boot you out, I'm afraid, on that one, sir, because it's just lies. One sec. There we go. Sorry, I just need to remove that one. Asen Froze, how are you, my friend? Said, for me, the fact that Rio is yet again starting on the right is a confirmation more than anything that the left wing is being readied for Barcola and establishing Rio's new role on the right. If Rio's on the left, then pretend you didn't see this. Well, I have to say, we're assuming it's Rio on the right. So please don't take our graphic as bona fide confirmation he's on the right. We're just assuming that he is on the right because Cody's playing as well. But I think your thought process is right, mate. I really do. Like, Barcola is coming into play on the left. Everybody that I've seen, everybody that has been speaking about it is making that assumption too. So I don't think your thought process is wrong, to be honest with you, mate. Frank, how are we, sir? Said, evening, Craig. Have you seen Wanyeri leaving Arsenal? Could be a bad option for us to look at. Alonso is one player in the world you would put into our team. Also, who is one player in the world you put into our team? I guess you look at what we need, right? So if I'm looking at one player in the world to put into our team, my mind goes to somebody like Michael Elise, as an example. After that, you turn into midfield and you're thinking somebody like a Rodri. Let's be honest about it. It is somebody like a Rodri that you'd love sitting in there. But look, I'll be honest and I'll go back to Caicedo. because that was the one for me, Frank, when we thought we'd won the battle to sign him. That was one of those, that would, for me, that was getting into the level of Virgil and Alisson taking us forward. You know, when they came in, we thought, okay, here we go, defence sorted out finally. I feel like if Caicedo came in, we'd be sitting here talking about the next 6 or 7 years sorted out in that position. So yeah, I would say maybe Caicedo, Rodri, Olise, if you're looking for somebody off the right, you know, maybe another 8 if you're thinking about somebody, but I love Dom in that position. So I'm probably going to say either Caicedo, Rodri, or Olise. That's how highly I rate Caicedo, by the way. I really do rate him as a player. Somebody said about the bench. The bench today is Davies, Munoz, Araujo, Nioni, Kumas, Ndai, and Wright. That is the bench today. Someone said Declan Rice as well. Yeah, Declan Rice would be brilliant at the base of our midfield also. Yeah. Look, you could name any of the top defensive midfielders and we'll probably all agree because it's a position that we clearly need somebody in. I see a couple of shouts for the 2 lads as well from Paris Saint-Germain. And again, hard to argue with it because they're very good at what they do and they're certainly what we need. The score in this morning's game, Simon, my man, was 0-0, mate. 0-0. So we didn't miss much by not doing it. But thank you to everyone that did join Connor for it. Jaden said it's sad that we can't produce good local boys again. I wouldn't say we can't, mate. I think we do have some promising players coming through. But like anything else, sometimes you don't see the good work that's happening at the academy because it is building towards the future. And I know that Liverpool and a lot of Premier League clubs have been investing quite a lot in young players to bring through. So I wouldn't say it's a shame we don't do it more. I think it's just we're going to have to be patient. We may not see the benefits of the good work in the academy for 2, 3, 4 years, you know. So it's something I always stop being critical about because I don't feel I'm in a position that I can criticize what's happening at the academy or not because I don't have as knowledgeable an information base around that side of Liverpool as I would do the first team, obviously, because I just don't have the time for it. But it's always great if you can bring through a couple. And it's always sad as well when you see them move on, like Jones is going to and like Trent has. Ideally, you would like a local in that team. How's it going, Craig? Have you seen those links with Yield is putting a big move from under? It's fake. The account that posted it, mate, is a parody account. It even says it on their account. So there's no truth to that. I don't believe Florian Plettenberg said that. And that account, if you just click on it, it shows it's a parody account. So no truth to that one. I just want to say something, actually. I seen Moby Hake on Twitter having a little pop of the aggregators over a bit of information that they got wrong. And a lot of us got it wrong, to be fair. But I find it a bit rich when somebody's giving the aggregator stick when they're on there playing ITK every week. And then trying to belittle some other people. So I think if he wants to start casting aspersions towards other people, we can go through his tweets and find quite a bit. I just found it a bit unnecessary because ultimately the aggregator accounts are doing their best. They're doing their best to bring Liverpool fans news and correlate it. And they simply, 1, most of them aren't in paid roles. 2, they do this for the love of the club and obviously their love of social media interactions. And I always find them an absolutely phenomenal service. So this particular one, I feel like it was the wrong one to call them out on because if you look at the story, it's twofold. They credited La Parisienne with the initial story, but it was via another big French account. And the French account that this was taken from is an account that has nearly 800,000 followers. And reports on French sport and football and other things, and they credit Le Parisien. So I don't expect the aggregator accounts to then go through, start changing the languages and chasing up every single article that is reported, re-reported and sent elsewhere. I just think it's so unnecessary. So again, we here at Anfield Agenda will always have the aggregators back. So I think they're a great service and they do great things for Liverpool fans. And we all lean on them, we all use them. So mistakes will happen and that's okay. But I find it a bit rich somebody calling them out when they play ITK and waffle a lot on social media. So I just want to let the lads know we'll always have their back anyway. Who would you say has been our best player to come from the academy? Steven Gerrard. Simple for me. Gerrard, Fowler. they're the ones in my generation anyway that I would say. Michael Owen, you would have to say, if you're talking just pure talent, the man went on win a Ballon d'Or. Those are the type of players for me that came through and obviously were just incredible. But we've been blessed that, we've produced our fair share as a football club. Anthony, how are you, my friend? Said, I'm very worried for the season ahead. We look massively underprepared. Our squad is not good enough. Right back, right wing, midfield, keeping Isak fit are going to be issues. So the right wing, I think, will be okay when Barcola comes in. Now, there's only one way that Cody Gakpo leaves the club, and that's if Liverpool have a replacement lined up. So I promise you a bit of information on the Cody Gakpo deal. This is what I know about it. It's not much, but it's what we know. So yesterday evening, Cody Gakpo's representatives, Richard Hughes, and a couple of Spurs officials met in London for a chat. Don't know the extent of the chat, don't know how or what level of detail, how far along, but they did meet, the conversations did take place, and you'd have to assume it's about Cody Gakpo and Spurs, right? So that's all that we know at this moment in time, is that Richard Hughes met with Cody Gakpo's agents and a couple of Spurs officials in London yesterday. Take from that what you will. Cody's in the team today, so it doesn't feel like it's something that's imminent that's going to happen in the next 12 hours, but they probably are talking through what the parameters of a deal might look like. Ace and Fro said, off topic, do you know what happened to the third kit unveiling? I thought it was supposed to be the 12th. I mentioned this on last night's stream. Footy headlines who are usually spot on, to be fair. Like, they definitely would be our go-to for anything kit related or anything like that. And they'd put up to say August the 12th, so I don't know if something caused the delay or if their information was just wrong. But yeah, I did mention it last night because I got up on that day and I went straight onto my phone to have a look through because, I always like to see the training ranges and stuff around the kits and see if there's anything I'd like, and it wasn't there. So you would imagine it's going to be soon, though, because, we kick off the season next weekend, so I wouldn't imagine it'll be too much longer. Bransfield, 20 months. I hope you and your dad are well, by the way, mate. Appreciate you both being supporters here of the channel. Just fixed my TV, so finally I can watch. Nice. Well in. Fix the TV. You're a better man than me, mate. God, I couldn't fix that. And I could barely wire a plug. I can wire a plug, but that's about it. Jason, how are you, sir? Said, hey, Craig, love the show. Appreciate that, bro. Thank you. Surely we wouldn't pay all that money for Barcola and not play him in his best position. Do you think Dom could do a right wing job? I don't see Dom going to the right wing. I think it'll be Rio. My guess, and of course it is a guess, is if this window goes in the way it could go, there could be a world where we have Barcola on the left and let's say, I don't know if Rio will be the other left option and Mbai will be an option on the right with Victor Munoz, or Rio will be the option on the right with Munoz or Mbai. But I do feel like, yes, absolutely, Barcola would be coming in, and Barcola would be coming in to play on the left by the looks of it. And I think we got a glimpse of that by the last couple of games at Rio on the right, and we think Rio on the right again today, which you'd have to imagine is a bit of a sign to us what might happen. How close is Jones to be sold? I think it's pretty close, to be fair. Now, I don't have definitive information on it other than what we were saying to you guys the other day about the meeting in London. We can't even get confirmation on whether that jet had anything to do with Liverpool, the one that went to Milan and back. I don't know, but I would say probably he's going to be gone by, I don't know. I don't even want to put a time frame on it because I read something earlier on today that suggested that Inter want another sale before they finalise the deal. And I'm not really on top of Inter Milan's business, but I think we've got an indication here that Curtis has missed the last two games. We were all a bit dubious when they talked about him feeling something in his hip for the last one, and now he's not involved again today. So it definitely feels like he's going. Is there any chance we bring in a striker even for a loan? I don't know is the honest answer, bro. I can absolutely understand where you're coming from about the idea of even a loan, but I just don't know anything about it. And it certainly I would be in the camp of no in a long-term deal because we don't need one, but it's a fair question. There's been lots of talk about a potential versatile attacker that can play across the front line. And there might be a world where Barcola plays centrally on occasion if Isak needs a rest, or, maybe gets taken off and we want to bring somebody else on, because we do have to manage the squad until Hugo's back. So it's a sticky one, but they've known about it for long enough. So they surely have a plan to figure this one out. But no, I would be surprised if we bring in a striker on loan. Craig, do you remember an old Liverpool player called Glenn Hyson? Oh, God, yes, mate. Of course I do. I was talking to my dad, but he does not remember him. He played in the 80s and 90s. He's from Sweden. I absolutely remember him, yes. Now, I'm not going to tell you I know how many games he played and all of this, but absolutely I remember Glenn. And I always did know he was from Sweden, actually. So, yeah. It's lovely when you have those little connections, though, isn't it, Bransfield? To your own country and the club that you love as well. Like, I always feel immensely proud when there's an Irish player in the Liverpool setup, like when Queeveen was there, even Conor Bradley from Northern Ireland in there. It strengthens the bond, doesn't it, between you and the club. Mr. A. Santino, how are you? What are the odds Liverpool go for Bergvall? Would you get him? Well, he's available, or at least he wants to move, from what I can see. I don't know anything to suggest Liverpool are in for him. I like Lucas Bergvall as a player. I like that he's a bit of a shithouse. I like the age profile, but I've no idea anything related to Liverpool and him, to be honest with you, mate. It feels like the travel, if you want to say that, would be towards Wharton. But even at that, I made a video last night and I talk about my own scepticism in Liverpool bringing in Wharton as well and having the amount of money spent that we would then be spending. It feels quite unusual. Oh, there it goes again. I don't know what it is about LFC TV lately, but it's been a bit of a pain in the arse watching it. It seems to mess up quite a bit. Anyway, let me get back into the chat. This one from the Wiser Dog, and thank you for 13 months with us, and thank you, Mr. A. Santino, before as well for 35 months, bro. Absolute legend. Loving the new scoreboard and info area. Thank you. I know Connor and the graphics team have been working really hard on that. We have a custom built system that we use for all of our graphics and stuff like that. It's probably the biggest investment we've made into the channel outside of the studio, to be honest, is the system that we use for automating the graphics and stuff. But we had it built by some developers that have worked at a pretty big companies, to be fair. And it's sharp. I like it. We only finalised the final details of it really during the week, so nice to finally get a run out with it before the season starts. And again, thank you to Connor and the team. Star Player said, I have a feeling the big Barcola news is tomorrow. I hope so. Sooner the better, sooner the better. Because it does, like, I know I was moaning at the lad earlier on, but I get what he was coming from, but there's nothing anybody can do about it. It has to move along at the pace it moves along. I get it. We all want it done quickly. I certainly do, but it is what it is. He has asked me, Gerard, we didn't sign Gerard, mate. He came through the academy. The question that I think you were referring to is the gent earlier on say, when's the last time we signed a player that was in the regular England 11, or an English player that was a regular? Who's protecting the back four today? Well, the answer to that one. It's supposed to be Gravenberch, Stevie boy, but how much protection will go on? That remains to be seen. But look, nothing's changed there. I think we're still on the same page, Stevie boy. We both agree we need somebody in that position. And Wharton is the only name I've really seen thrown around. Kamara, I've not got anything on new. We've seen bids go in from other clubs for Kamara that have been rejected. I'm sure that they'll go back in again. But yeah, it's going to be Gravenberch by the looks of it, my man. Bransfield said, exactly, that is why I love Isak. I totally get it, dude. Totally get it. If I was in your position and there was an Irish player in here, I'd be all over it as well. Absolutely. It just strengthens that bond, like I've said. It makes you feel a bit of national pride as well. Jonathan Dobbs, mate, thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate you. Paj, always a pleasure, dude. How are you? Said, evening, Craig. If Flo's number 10 and Dom deeper this season, I still worry about us getting counted again without a proper world-class number 6. I don't think Dom's the deeper one. I think Ryan's the deeper one and Dom's the 8. So I'd look at it like this. Gravenberch 6, Dom 8, Wirtz 10. That's the way I think about it. Now, of course, there may be times where Gravenberch I've got the hiccups, where Gravenberch might get licensed to go forward. But that's the way I think about it when I see the midfield. Grav 6, Dominic Szoboszlai 8, Wirtz 10. But you're right. Like, as Stevie Boy said as well, the same issues that we had last season, we haven't done anything to correct that position. We just haven't. Now, maybe they play it in a different way. Maybe the system helps out in a different way. Maybe somebody shifts across into that position from fullback. I don't know. But we definitely have that issue, and I agree. To go into this window and not sort it out feels risky, especially if we have real aspirations to do something serious this season. Any more signings won't get a pre-season with Iriola. You're right. They won't. Which, again, I think we're on the same page here, right? I don't disagree with you. I hate the fact that that Liverpool have left business this late. Sorry, I'm just kind of half keeping an eye on the TV to make sure that LFC TV doesn't keep shitting the bed on me. Chris, thank you for joining, mate, becoming a member. Appreciate you. Itachi, always a pleasure, sir. Said hello, everybody. Graphics look fire. Thank you, mate. I wish I could take any of the credit, but it's absolutely nothing to do with me and very much all to do with Connor. Right, for anyone who's coming in late, I'm going to run through the 11 now and we'll take you through the Como teams. You know what? We'll go through the Como team. Watch me butcher these pronunciations now. So, Como, it's Butez, then Bruno, Mila, Dubvikis, Ramon, Yankuto, Rodriguez, Batrina, Chalaba, Liberali, and Acuna. That's the Como team, for what it's worth. I don't know many of those players, but that's more a reflection of my ignorance. For Liverpool, Alisson in goal, Frimpong right back, Kirkes left back, centre-back pairing of your captain Virgil van Dijk, and we get a first look at Jeremy Jacquet. Midfield, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai with Wirtz in the 10. We believe Cody's on the left, Rio's on the right, and Isak's through the middle. Then for Liverpool's bench today, we have Davies, Munoz, Araujo, Nioni, Kumas, Ndai, and Wright. That is Liverpool's bench today. Wayne said, Craig, looking good. Love the shirt. Thank you, bro. Keep up the good work you do on this channel. You're a top guy. Appreciate that, my man. Thank you. Yeah, whenever we change camera angles or graphics or anything, it takes me a good month to get used to it. And yeah, I'm not somebody that does well with change. It takes me a while to get used to it. So I'm still kind of figuring it all out at the minute, but appreciate you. And yeah, as we said, we constantly want to make sure that we give you guys the best possible information during the game, and the graphics and the way we're trying to do it is to hopefully make it as clear to everybody as possible what's happening. And yeah, thank you for the feedback. Munoz again, yeah, and Nioni, they're both on the bench. Now remember, the game earlier on this morning were 2 35-minute halves, so wasn't a proper full game really. Tiger Valley, always a pleasure. Said you're just here to touch base, gonna miss the game. Well, whatever you're doing, my friend, I hope you have a lovely day. Mohammed, how are you, sir? What's your realistic prediction for a Champions League run? I mean, I don't think we'll have any issues getting out of the league phase of it, Mohammed, mate. After that, I guess it depends who you get, right? I mean, we've got PSG the last couple of years, and we know how that went. So, yeah, I think I'm not going to obsess too much about the results in the league phase this year, because I know we want to get into the top 8, and I know that that's the aim. But, like, look at PSG as an example. It's about peaking at the right time in the Champions League and in the cup competitions. In the league, you kind of have to have that consistency most of the way through. But if Liverpool can get out of the league phase of the Champions League, and Iriola's philosophies have started to be implemented and understood by the players, I'm hoping that we can do that, a PSG type season where maybe it's a little bit scattergun in the Champions League. Maybe we don't finish right at the top of that league table, but if we can get our shit together in the knockout stages. You just never know. And PSG have never been in the top 8 over the past 2 seasons when they've won the Champions League. So, and if I'm not mistaken, the first year they won it, I think they just scraped in at like 23 or something like that, like quite low down that league table. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Get out of the league phase, which I think we do comfortably, and then make sure you try and peak for the knockout stages, because that's when the serious business starts. I thought this game had already been played. There's 2 today, mate. There was one at 11 a.m. or excuse me, 11:30 a.m. this morning, and this is the evening one. I think this has happened a couple of times in recent years for Liverpool. Right towards the end of pre-season, they've had a couple of double headers. The Scan said, "What is an acceptable season for you, Craig, for Iriola's first season? I want a domestic trophy and, of course, qualify for Europe, but should expect to for the league. Thoughts?" Pretty much the same. Champions League qualification and progression. That's it for me. Champions League qualification and progression through the season. Look, a domestic cup would be lovely, and I wouldn't say no. A good Champions League run would be good. But yeah, I want to see that as the season goes on, we're getting better. We're getting used to the manager's tactics with setup, and and when it clicks, then hopefully we move in the right direction. So yeah, I'm trying to be realistic about it. It's really hard to get a read on the Premier League this season because us and so many others have new coaches. I mean, we listed them off the other day. There must be 7, 8, 9 new coaches in the Prem this year, and some of them at the top end of the table. So not really sure what to expect from Maresca's Man City. They were beaten 3-0, I think, by Arsenal today. Arsenal probably the only team with that continuity going into the season, so you'd probably rightly make them favourites. Chelsea are a bit of an unknown quantity. They also only have 1 game a week this season. Same with Spurs, bit of an unknown quantity with so many new signings. De Zerbi getting a full season, pre-season under his belt and being back like he has. Also, only 1 game a week. So yeah, these things make it interesting. How much of an impact is losing some of the players Villa have going to have on them? Who's going to be the surprise package? It's a really tough one. I wouldn't be... If I was an Arsenal fan right now, I'd be pretty confident going into the season, I have to say. But from our perspective, I really don't know what our expectation level should be. What's this one? Big love from Hungary. Always enjoy your streams. Thank you, my friend. Do you know what? I do not know anybody that's been to Hungary that doesn't have good things to say about it. My mother and father-in-law have been a couple of times. A couple of my friends have just been. Everyone I know that goes to Hungary, to Budapest, or anywhere for a trip, whether it be a week or a long weekend, has nothing but good things to say about it. So I have to get my backside over to Hungary at some point. Julio, always a pleasure, my man. Said, Craig, hope you and your family are doing well. Yeah, can't complain. Can't complain, dude. All good on this side, thank you. Same to you. I hope you and your family are doing well. Jake, how come you never came to Spain? I think I explained that one, Jake, privately, and it's not really something I want to talk about publicly. Mental health wasn't in a good place, mate, and a few other things. But I explained it to your mum, as did Sabrina, and I explained it to Jer, obviously, as well. But it was a health issue, mate, more than anything. Certainly not that I didn't want to be there. I'd love to have been there for Jer's birthday. But hopefully, Jake, I see you up at well, I don't even want to say it in case I ruin a surprise, but I think you know the surprise party I'm talking about. Hopefully, Jake, I'll see you there. Pedro Ruiz, thank you, sir, for becoming a member as well. Appreciate you, my man. Adrian said, looking good, mate. Well done with the pounds. Hope you and the family are doing well. Can we get a Liverpool win today? You'll never walk alone. I hope so. Be nice to finish the pre-season with a good performance and a win, wouldn't it? And on the weight loss stuff, thank you. Look, it shouldn't have happened. I shouldn't have let my weight get that way again. But, getting there bit by bit and certainly feeling a bit better for it. So appreciate the kind words, my man. Thank you. No, Jake, all good. Jake, please don't think I was having a go at you, bro. Your family, I love you to bits. That isn't the intention at all. But I hope to see you. I wanted to see you as well and say hello. So hopefully I see you up at... again, I don't want to say it in case... I don't think Auntie Joni's going to be watching, or Granny Joni to you. Hopefully we see you around that time, mate, because I share a birthday with your nanny. Thomas, thank you very much for your content. You helped me a lot through 2 very tough years. All the best to you and your family. Thank you, Thomas. I hope times are better for you now, bro. That's the thing I love about this, though, Thomas. You know, we all do help each other through the good times and the bad times, and sometimes without even knowing it. So thank you. Really appreciate your kind words, mate. And like I said, I hope things are a little bit better for you these days. Paul said, do you see us having a regular penalty taker, or will it be spread around? Again, a very good question, Paul. I'm personally somebody that likes a regular penalty taker, but who that will be, I'm going to guess Dominic Szoboszlai or Isak. They're my two guesses, but they are absolutely guesses. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But that would be my guess, Isak or Dom. Which one are we at? This one. Julio said, I know it's only the Community Shield, but Arsenal look like they're going to walk the league. I mean, it's tough to read too much into it, be it one-off game, but the continuity is important. You know, they've improved their squad. They've brought in Bruno Guimaraes. Chorlitz looks like a good player as well. And look, I think it's right to say they're favourites for the league. I don't have any problem admitting that one, but you don't know how the league works out, I guess, how injuries go, how decisions go, some of the refereeing changes as well, and how that'll be done this season and interpreted. But I think it's fair to say, Julio, yeah, they probably are the favourites at this point. Jake said, you gone over to any of the games this season? Nothing planned, Jake, my man. Nothing planned at the moment. Usually stuff like that for me would be a relatively late decision. And if I am going to get over, I'd say I'm probably somewhere around March, April, if I get over to a game. I may have some friends coming over from the States that I've told I'll go to a game with if they come over. So if they book their trip, I'll probably go with them. That's kind of what I did last time as well. I had friends come over from Boston, and we went over to the United game last season. Didn't go well. It was a bit of a nightmare for me, to be honest, Jake, because I did nerve damage to my shoulder on holidays. Came back from the holiday early to get physio, to go over to do my live show in Liverpool, and then go to the Manchester United game. And I was in absolute agony for all of it, and United beat us 2-1. So it wasn't the trip I'd hoped for, but it was always lovely to do the show and meet everyone in Liverpool. Hey Craig, do you think we would see Gakpo leave from first to raise some funds for Bradley Barcola in, or the other way around? I don't think they're related, to be honest with you. I think if Gakpo leaves, for me, and again, I don't know this is a fact, so please don't, I'm not trying to tell you it is a fact, but if Gakpo leaves, you would have to imagine Liverpool have another forward ready to go, because it couldn't be a Barcola in, Gakpo out, because that's not acceptable. Liverpool need another body. So at this moment in time, the Barcola deal I don't think has any real relation to Cody Gakpo. But if that Cody Gakpo deal gets to the point where a deal is agreed with Spurs, and like we said, Gakpo's representatives and Richard Hughes met with some Spurs officials in London last night. Outside of that, I don't know, because I believe the club want to bring in more money, and I've said this for the last few weeks. If you look at the outlay we've done and what we're going to do, it would be highly unusual for Liverpool not to look to recoup some money. Even the Jones money wouldn't really be enough. So I think Mbaye could have some legs to it. But again, I don't want to talk about it from a factual perspective, because I don't know it to be a fact. I do know, like I said before, that Liverpool met with his representatives at the London offices the other day, represented by his family. And of course, I think he also represented by Mendes. Now, I know his family were at the meeting anyway, but yeah, I don't know on Mbaye. Lots of guesswork on it. We are interested in him. We wouldn't take up a non-homegrown spot because of his age. Price-wise, you'd have to say it's something we could afford, 40, 50 million euro. But after that, I don't know any... I don't know what enough to say that'll be him. I can't see who else it might be, because there's not really much links to others, and Yankuba Mint is injured for 2 or 3 months, so it's not going to be him. Yeah, my best guess is it'll be Mbaye, but it is a guess. Dave said, why do we take a chance on having an incomplete squad every single year? It's not a bad window. What's the logic? It's the owners being cheap. I can only keep repeating that to people, Dave, and I know that people don't like when I say it, and people go to FSG's defence, but sometimes I think they miss the other stuff I say about FSG as well that gives them the credit. But I can't but call them out on this, Dave, and I think I'm right on it. I don't know a single Liverpool fan that is happy with the squad depth we have. Not one. And it's not your fault, Dave. It's not my fault. It's not the people in the chat's fault that Liverpool keep letting contracts run down and players walk out the door for next to nothing or nothing. So, yeah, it's just not good enough, is it? But this is what we have. We have to go into every season hoping that everything goes our way. We don't pick up injuries. We don't get many suspensions. Burnout doesn't happen. And then maybe we can compete. And it's just not great for a club like Liverpool, is it? Like, look at the depth that Arsenal have. Even defensively, it is astounding. Look at the midfield options. And then look at us. And we're, 14, 15 top quality players? Our first 11 right up there with anybody's. But the depth isn't there. And you're right to be concerned, Dave. And you're right to call it out. Did you see our masterpiece? Come on, you Gunners. Very impressive, mate. We were just talking about Arsenal a minute ago, Zane, and saying, look, rightfully, deservedly favourites for the league title. I'm a realist, mate. I've no problem calling it as it is. Arsenal strong favourites going in for various reasons. One, continuity. You know, same manager, same setup, good players, good recruitment this summer. You've every right to be optimistic for the season, mate, and I'm no hater. I want Liverpool to be competitive, but, you know, I give credit where it's due, and Arsenal look good. Craig, can you buy the club? Dude, I wouldn't have the money to buy the changing rooms, let alone the club. MREP said, I hate how people will call for a coach when we got no players. I won't be. I can promise you that. I promise you that, mate. I won't be going for the manager this season at all. It took a lot for me to go to the manager last season because I've never, ever called for a manager or said he needs to be fired before. But last season, it just got to a ridiculous stage. And you're right. If there's any pushback, it should be towards the board for not giving him the players that he needs. And again, the only answer to that is because they're cheap. Now, you hope with the investment in from Bezos, Eduardo Salvarin, Ahmed Batia, you know, again, just in case people weren't with us during the week, there's language in the deal, the investment deal that was signed. This reporting came from CNBC, and the language in the deal shows that there is a mechanism in the first 12 months for this new investment firm, and the language here is important, to take a controlling stake. It doesn't say buy the full 100%, but a controlling stake in the football club within the first 12 months at an $8 billion valuation. And the other interesting part that came out the day after about that was that mechanism can be triggered by the investments but can't be blocked by FSG. So if these guys want to take a controlling stake inside the first 12 months, they can do it. And they can then run the football club pretty much how they see fit. Whether that happens or not in the first 12 months remains to be seen, but that's the lay of the land there. And it is interesting because an $8 billion valuation is a high one. So maybe FSG put that in as a kind of counterbalance to think, okay, if we do, then we get the money we want and we're happy. Mr. A. Santino said, CNBC is quite good at these things. They broke the Lakers deal. Yeah, and I was quickly backed up by The Athletic and others around the ins and outs of the deal. And that was the part of the whole investment that fascinated me most. You know, a lot of people were just honing in on the Jeff Bezos stuff. But for me, it was the language in that contract that was of interest to us. And to find out that mechanism's in there, it kind of excites me because I think it at least gives us an indication of the seriousness of which they want to be involved with the club. You don't put that in there if you're going to be a passive investor who wants to, you know, just add value to it. They clearly have aspirations to do something bigger. Or at least that's how I interpret it. What's your thoughts on Josh Arby not even getting a look because he's one of our more talented youngsters? Now, he shouldn't be playing, Jake. My view, mate, is he's too young. You know, and no problem getting a little bit in pre-season, but he's too young to be in and around first-team football. He'd be broken up and he'd be burnt out. he needs a little bit more time to develop, and definitely is a really promising player. But I think it's right not to have him in and around too early. You always, for me anyway, I want young players to be eased in bit by bit at a time that suits the manager rather than out of necessity because of a lack of depth. And I just don't think Joshua Abe is ready physically yet. Mr. A. Santino, thank you, bro, for gifting 5 memberships. Absolute legend. Yanis, how are you? Happy new Premier League season, everyone. Well, 1 week to go, bro. 1 week to go. This time next week we'll be pretty close to getting towards the latter start of the game, part of the game against Newcastle. We'll probably be inside the last 20 minutes or so at this point. And thank you, my man, for being with us for half a year as a member. John, always a pleasure, my man. Hey, Craig, I hope we progress through this season, but afraid that the lack of bench depth will hurt us. Probably singing to the choir, but that's how I feel. I think you're right. Look, I think most of us will say our starting 11 is right up there. But you don't win league titles with starting 11s unless you get very lucky. And we haven't had luck with injuries in recent years. And as that gentleman said earlier on, we shouldn't have to have luck. This is Liverpool Football Club. We should have the depth. But, you know, the contract situation, the amount of players they've let walk out the door without really refreshing them and building back up that squad, it will cost us. And unfortunately, that's the elephant in the room for the club this season. Looking forward to the upcoming game, said Simon. As am I, Simon. Right, ladies and gents, we've got 7 minutes. 7 minutes till the game kicks off. Now, I want to get into good habits at this point because I forgot to do this all pre-season. I think you know what I'm going to say, right? If you can do me a favour, hit that like button. Let's get us up to over 1,000 likes before kick-off. We've got 7 minutes to go until the game, and it will kick off at time today because it's at Anfield. Not like all those American pre-season games where they're always delayed by 5 or 10 minutes. So if you can, hit that like button for me. Thank you to everyone that subscribed as well. As you can see, we've now gone past 390,000 subscribers. And just as I say that, right on schedule, LFC TV shits the bed again, but it's okay. It's back on here behind me. What else we got? Oh, also our WhatsApp finally hit the 20,000 mark as well. So thank you to everyone that joined our WhatsApp. It's now over 20,000 people in it. That is where we give you the latest news. I put the news in there about Cody Gakpo about an hour before the game today to let you guys know about the meeting down there. And that is always the first port of call for us. So if you aren't signed up to the WhatsApp, well, that's why you've got to wait for the videos. So if you want the news quickly before we stream or anything like that, and we have it, join the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp. The link is in the description, and I'm sure that the lads can throw it into the chat as well. 802 likes now. We're nearly there. 198 to go. With 6 minutes left. We got this, lads. We got this. Right. Little quick poll question before we start the game today, just for a bit of fun. Right, just for a bit of fun, which shirt is better this season, home or away? Let me know. Vote on that one for me and let me know what one you think. Home or away? I don't want to tell you my answer because I don't want to corrupt the vote, but let me know what you guys think. If you were buying the shirt and you could only have one, home shirt or away shirt this season? Ethan said, and it was because we let good players walk away last season, we didn't defend our title. Not only that, Ethan, I mean, I'd go even a bit further back than last season, mate. It's just been a mess contractually. Like, since we lost Michael Edwards the first time and George Smaka came in, and he was really only helping with recruitment for Jurgen. It kind of, we never play catch up with it. We've always been chasing our tails with those contract situations. And again, as we sit here now, we're on track to have 11 players at a contract at the end of next season. Now, Jones will move on, so that'll probably be one of them gone, but still a lot of players, right? Sonder said Barcola is the best winger in the league when he comes in. Saka and him is the top two. We're going to blow teams away this year. Right back needed, DM, and right winger too. Well, thank you, Sonder. Appreciate it, and I hope you're right. I hope Barcola comes in and has a a damn good season for us because his pace is certainly going to be scary and it's going to be fun to watch. Lewis, 9 months with us as a member, my man. Craig, thoughts on City's chance this season? I find it really difficult to guess, like I said, because so many changes, so many new coaches, really don't know what to expect from Manchester City this year. All I will say is I think Arsenal are deservedly the favourites and I think they'll be the ones to catch. Not very slim. I mean, that could definitely be my account name as well. Loving the office. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's it's something we're really proud of that we're finally able to build and have ready for the season. Charlie, so disagree with my sister all the time, being a fan of Elliot. She said he's not got the pace for the Prem. Should go to RB Leipzig now. I think she was right. She could have done a blog or podcast. Well, absolutely could have, Charlie. And look, I would have been a Harvey Elliott fan, and I'm a Harvey Elliott fan. But if I'm being really honest about the situation, I don't think he's done enough to justify being kept or to give a new deal to. So I think probably right decision to move him on. I do say that with a heavy heart because I wanted Harvey Elliott to succeed, but I just don't think he's done enough to convince that he's going to stay around. So I think you'll see a late move in the window for him. Why mention Barcola and Saka? Because he was comparing the two best wingers in the league and he said Barcola will be one good winger and Saka will be another good winger. He wasn't making any comparisons, Bradley, towards him going to Arsenal. Craig, do you have cameos? I've turned them off. I am on Cameo and I do have an account on there and I have done lots of them before. But I turned it off over the last couple of months because I hadn't had time and I didn't want people waiting around or anything like that. So usually I try and do the Cameo videos quickly when they come in. I try and get them out within 24 hours. But I haven't had much time, so I had to turn it off for new requests. I might turn it back on at some point in the future, but at the moment, no. I'm on there, but not active. If you need something particularly done, though, reach out. If it's a birthday email or a birthday video, happy to do it. Just send it across to you, like nothing to do with money or anything like that. Always happy to do something like that for somebody just as a mate, like. Dave said, back to the 3 a.m. starts. Love this channel. Let's go. Appreciate you, my man. 14 months as well. We love that. Right, ladies and gents, let's take you through the Reds starting 11 again today. We finally get to see Jeremy Jacquet, which is great news. We get to have a proper look at him. It's Alisson Becker in goal, Jeremy Frimpong at right back, Milos Kerkez at left back, Jeremy Jacquet and your captain Virgil van Dijk are our centre backs. Midfield, double pivot of Szoboszlai and Gravenberch with Florian Wirtz in the 10. Cody Gakpo left, Rio Ingamo at right, and Alexander Isak through the middle. Your Liverpool bench today is Davies, Munoz, Araujo, Nioni, Kumas, Ndiaye and Wright. No issues with Ndoka, by the way, as Jack Lusby posted earlier on. Liverpool just feel they have enough there at the minute, seniority-wise, to get through this game. Egyptus man said, Craig, you're genuinely a great person, entertainer. You've helped me and my mates through stressful times. Dude, that means so much. Thank you. That's all I ever tried to be, mate, is a down-to-earth, normal fella, because that's all I am. You know, the channel may have grown and all that stuff, and I'm very grateful for it, but I'm a working class man that comes from a working class family and just loves chatting with people, you know, and whatever I may have done for anybody, I need you to know that it's the same here. So many times you guys have helped me out so much, without even knowing it sometimes. I may come in and I might be down in the dumps or having a bad day and somebody tells a joke or says something kind and it helps a lot. So that's what we're all here for. We're all here to help each other out, and that's why we keep using the word community, because that's what this is. That's what our community is. It's good people together, helping each other out, sharing a few laughs together, and all piling in on the trolls, because fuck them. I hate them. I wish they'd just disappear and leave us all alone to have a bit of fun. Right, we are close to getting underway. Now I need to just make sure I have the new clock set up all ready to go. Done, done, done. Done. Right, ladies and gentlemen, Liverpool attacking the Annie Road end first half. We are about to get underway. It will be Florian Wirtz kicking us off. Ref's doing his final checks. I think he's just waiting for the go-ahead off the sidelines for the TV. And we're underway, ladies and gents. We are underway. Last game of pre-season, Liverpool playing right to left, attacking the Annie Road end, and we're underway. Immediately, ball goes back. Jeremy Jacquet gets his first touch of pre-season. Does well. Well done, Jeremy. Shows great composure there. Takes a touch, cuts inside, plays the ball across. Recycled now by Gravenberch. Back to Jacquet. Really excited to get a proper look at him in pre-season. You know, we haven't seen him at all yet, so we finally get to see what the £60 million investment looks like. Kirkes. He goes up the line. Intercepted one of the Como players, but it goes out for a throw in about 10 yards inside the Como half. Verge, you can see what he was trying to do there. Got the ball and immediately Verge has his head up looking for a diag to get Rio in behind. And it definitely is Rio off the right-hand side. Isak. To Rio. He's crowded out and Como bring it away. Lovely full house at Anfield today as well, which is great to see. Liverpool hunting in packs there on the far side. Win the ball back, but the referee judged a bit too aggressively. Free kick to Como. Still feels weird saying Como. It's just, you know, it's a name that I've never associated with football until obviously they got promoted up to Serie A, and that's my own ignorance. But it's, yeah, it feels weird talking about Liverpool playing Como. But of course, they've got European football as well this season, so well done to them. Right, ball back with the Como keeper. Press comes on from Isak. Keeper clears it long upfield. Virgil, look how high Virgil is there. This is the differences you're going to spot this season with Areola and the way we defend. Look at how high Virgil was. Look how aggressive and on the front foot he is. We noticed it as well with Ndoko and Ndai earlier on in pre-season, but that is one stark contrast here. Whereas with Arna, they dropped off and off and off. It's right up there, pressing high. Como managed to play around the first press. Ball in behind. Frimpong gets there. He goes back to Allison. Allison calmly plays the ball out. Soboslai. Back to Frimpong. Don man on. Again, Frimpong does well. Rio has the ball. Jacquet. Gravenberch. Virgil switches it out left side to Kirkes. Let's check in on our poll, actually. We asked, which shirt is better, home or away? Oh, it's a close one. I'm going to leave this go longer because it's close. If you haven't voted on the poll, we're asking you, which shirt this season do you prefer, the home or the away? Kirkes. Gakpo. He cuts inside. Soboslai. Virgil into Gravenberch. Back to Jeremy Jacquet. Gravenberch. Again, you're looking for that movement ahead of him. Love this from Jacquet already, by the way. I love that from Jacquet. Did you see he's already signalling where he wants his wingers to be and his fullbacks to be? Love that. Confidence straight in there. That's a great sign to see him already being that vocal. Back to Virgil. Into Wirtz. He tries a flick. Ricochets in then to Gravenberch. He's crowded out. Como have it in the middle of the pitch. Liverpool have a back now. Como player gave it away. Looking for a foul, but referee said no. Now it's with Soboslai. Kirkes. Okay, watch Rio. He's always on the shoulder. Always looking to cut inside. Como try and play it in down Liverpool's left side, but it goes out of play for a throw-in. It's very interesting how often, keep your eye on Rio for a minute, he is always on the shoulder of the full-back or the centre-back looking to get in behind. Isak to Soboslai. A true gent said from Gooner, I hope you have a better season. Absolute gentleman, mate. Thank you. Like I was saying to another gooner that was in a while ago, good performance from you guys today. Certainly the team to catch, I think, for the season, my man. And thank you so much for the kind words. Gravenberch slips one in looking for Isak. Unlucky. Just a little bit overhit. The keeper comes out and claims it. But again, good understanding there. Isak immediately on the shoulder, looking to get in behind. Frimpong to Kirkes. Look at our left backs on the right side here on a little marauding run. And ref brings it back, I think, for a free kick. Well done, Kirkes. Love that. That's our left back out there on the right wing. Takes the ball infield and drives across, and the ref brings it back for a free kick. Sahil said, I know the ball went out, but the power of Virgil's head, goddamn. Thank you for everything, Craig. Been following you for a few years now and really enjoy your balance and fair. It's hard work and you're killing it, my friend. Loads of love from India. Thank you so much, Sahil. Really appreciate your kind words and, of course, your support of our community, bro. Yeah, thank you so much. What's this? A few things. Got some comments from Iriola I'll give you guys in a sec, but let's talk about this free kick first. It's Soboslai over it, right-hand side. It's about 25 yards out, very right. Puts in a cross deep towards the back post. Como player gets ahead of it and it goes behind for a corner to Liverpool. So some quotes from Iriola around Xhaka and Araujo minutes. He says the plan is for half for half with them. So one of the centre-backs in each half. Jeremy's been training with us. We've been looking after him. He'll probably play 45 minutes. It's his first game, his debut. Hope he does well. I think it's an important game for us. It's getting closer. We need to show we're a good team. Right, Liverpool go short with this corner. Soboslai then goes all the way back to Frimpong. Back out to Soboslai. Eventually the cross comes in, headed away by Como. Isak gets it on the edge of the box. Strike! Oh, he's hit the post. Unlucky. Good strike. Isak outside the penalty area, left-hand side, shifts it onto his right foot, tries to curl it in around the keeper, starts it out wide, brings it back in, clips the outside of the post, and eventually I think goes behind for another Liverpool corner. Unlucky that from Isak. Oof. Must have taken a nick on the way through this, did it? Yeah, I think it came off the defender's foot, and that's probably what put it onto the post. Right, corner in from Dom, headed away at the near post by Como. Dom gets the ball back, though. He needs a bit of support here. Back to Frimpong. Craig, wondering what your most unpopular opinion is in football. Mine is Alex Ferguson would have struggled in managerial ways, are very dead nowadays. I don't know if he'd have struggled because he very much was of his time and he was, one of the best to do it. What's my unpopular opinion? One sec. I don't know. Let me think for a minute. I'll come back on that one in a minute. Let me have a little think. What would be my unpopular football opinion? I don't know. I'm going to have a proper think on this because there's not many things I think very differently onto other people. I'm sure there's people that I don't think are as good as other people say, but off the top of my head, I'm having to think. I don't know if this is unpopular or as unpopular as maybe I think it is, but two things. I don't think Cristiano Ronaldo, one sec, Como on the attack, ball back to the edge of the box. I don't think Cristiano Ronaldo even belongs in a conversation with Messi and Maradona. I don't think he belongs anywhere near that conversation. I think those two are ahead. Then it's Ronaldo, and then you can move on to others. That's one, I would say. And also, I think Neymar was completely wasted his career. That's another one. Neymar should have a few Ballon d'Ors at this point because he has all the talent in the world, but he just never really fulfilled it to the extent I think he was capable of. And I get really wound up by players who don't get the most out of their careers. And you can't say that about Ronaldo. Ronaldo got every ounce of his talent and hard work out of his career. I think Messi did. I didn't see it with Neymar, and it always wound me up. Now, by the way, I'm not trying to say Cristiano Ronaldo hasn't had an outstanding career. He is an absolute super pro and works his ass off. But I just think naturally, and he just can't do the things for me that a Maradona or a Messi could do. Ronaldo does things that Messi could never do. I disagree, mate. I disagree. Apart from obviously physical differences and height and physicality, I think Leo Messi's just an infinitely better footballer. Kirkes now, he's brought down. Amaya Gamer, thank you for becoming a member as well, my friend. Right, got some more quotes here for you from the manager. One sec. Rio saying, actually, quotes from Rio. I feel confident in what to put in a show for the fans. Also said, everyone's learning. It's about putting everything together. Training's been tough. It's getting us physically ready. Rio, ball down the right again. Frimpong's chasing it down. It's back with the Como keeper. I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, and I don't know if I'm biased on this because I'm a goalkeeper, but I hate that goalkeepers can get away with nothing in a penalty shootout and that the forwards can basically do what they want. They're stuttering runs and all this shit. I don't think that should be allowed because a goalkeeper can do nothing these days. Any slight movements ahead or anything, penalties retaken. Ultimately, when you've got a player striking a ball from 12 yards against the keeper, they should be putting that ball in the net regardless. And I don't like the stuttering run-ups. I think they should be barred because I don't think it's fair. And I think keepers are held back too much in penalty shootouts for me. I think there's too many restrictions on a keeper versus what the player can do. Gakpo. But I could be saying that as a former goalkeeper, just being completely biased. Isak, oh, unlucky. So ball down the left side from Gakpo, excuse me, shifts it into Isak. You can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to get the ball across his body, but his touch is heavy and it goes away from him. CR7 won in different leagues, including Premier League. Messi did in La Liga. And football isn't, football's a team game. It's not an individual game. So Ronaldo doing it in different leagues. All right, here's one for you. Tell me one league Ronaldo went to that he didn't go to the obvious team to win the league. Just give me one. You won't be able to because it doesn't exist. So it means nothing. If Messi wanted to move around leagues for money and get more league titles, he could have absolutely done it. To try and say that Messi couldn't do it in another league is just idiotic. Come on, like, of all the things to compare them on, the Ronaldo move to other league stuff, it doesn't really cut it with me. Wirtz wins the ball back, goes past, again, heavy touch. He needs to brush up on that this season. He can't be doing this. He can't just turn the ball over in the way that he has. Because so many times last season, Wirtz being loose in possession and giving the ball away, seeing us counted. And if he's going to do what he's doing there, he's got to make sure he's at least protecting the ball. The Messi only did in the league, I don't think is a valid argument. Of course it's not. The man won the World Cup and got to another final. Went over, won the MLS with Inter Miami. Won the French division with PSG. So I don't get it. But look, it's a what you like thing. I understand that there are Ronaldo fans out there. I was asked for my unpopular opinion and I gave it to you. What a tackle. What a tackle from Xhaka. Goes to ground. He's got to get it right. And he does. Left side of the penalty area. Wins the ball. Now it's been given away. Rio lost it. It's okay though. It's back with Alisson. Anyway, I'm going to focus on trying to give you some comms on the game rather than get into debates about Ronaldo, because I want to make sure I cover it for people who aren't watching. So it's Dominic Szoboszlai left side of midfield here for the Reds. The Wirtz, Isak, Gravenberch, back to Dom. He's got Kerkez out on the left if he wants to use him. Gives it into Wirtz though. Was a little bit of space ahead of him. He plays it out right hand side to Rio. Jeremy Frimpong now goes on the overlap. Rio goes back to Gravenberch. Back out to Frimpong. Nothing ahead of him, so he goes back to Jeremy Jacquet. It's back with Gravenberch again. Wirtz dropping a bit deeper now to try and pick up the ball and make things tick. Virgil. Back to Gravenberch. Verge. Inside to Dom. Gravenberch. Back out to Rio. Rio goes round the outside past his man, puts in a cross. It's a little bit behind everybody. That was good wing play from Rio. Love that. Over 2-3 yards, he just leaves two defenders flat-footed, goes past them and gets a ball in. Como now on the counter. Frimpong's back into position. Como have it down our right side. Good challenge, Jeremy. Frimpong gets in with a sliding challenge to block it, and it goes behind for a Como. Corner kick. Well done, Jeremy. Right, corner to defend. It's going to be an outswinger. Left-footed corner taker on the far side. There's not many in the penalty area here for Como. Cross in and towards the near post. Como recycle it back out. Another cross in. And it's headed behind. It'll be a Liverpool goal kick. Frankie said, any thoughts on Mamardashvili? I'm not fully convinced yet, dude. I'm not fully convinced one way or the other. I would probably be more on the side of concerned than happy, if I'm being honest with you. Now, not based off anything today or whatever, just, yeah, not sure. Not sure if he's ready. I'm not sure. And I'm probably not sure if I'm ready to let go of Alisson yet either. Leona, thank you for the kind words. Wanted to say, love this community. Thank you, Leona, and thank you for being with us as a member for 13 months. Como now in possession. It's given away, though. Liverpool have it back. Good work from Isak. Wirtz out to Cody Gakpo. Gakpo left side of the penalty area. Slips it back into Wirtz. Wirtz crosses in. Oh, good cover and challenge. Stops it from reaching Isak, but really good play again. It all started from Isak tracking back to win the ball. He then slips it into Wirtz. Wirtz plays it into Gakpo. Gakpo cuts inside as Wirtz goes around on the overlap, slips it into him. But Wirtz's ball back across the 6-yard box was cut out by a covering Como player and it's put out for a throw-in. Matthew said, hey Craig, hope you and the family are well. Enjoy watching. Channel from America, Jacksonville, Florida. Nice. Go Reds. Love Florida. Been there plenty of times, mate. Love it, love it, love it. And thank you so much for being with us, Matthew. Hope life's treating you well, sir. Oh, where'd that space come from there for Como? Absolute acres of space between Liverpool's midfield and defensive line there, which was way too easy to play the ball into. Now Como have a late runner. Yeah, I don't like that. That worries me. Again, where's a defensive-minded player? A ball with 10 yards of space between the midfield and defensive lines. Then Como slip it in left side. A late runner comes through, but thankfully for us, the ball was overhit and goes beyond for a goal kick. But again, you can see the space in our midfield. Gakpo, he flicks it forward. Szoboszlai doesn't quite make it to Wirtz. It's intercepted by a Como player. Como now have it inside their own half. Well done. Gakpo to Isak. Isak out right hand side to Rio. Couple of step overs from Rio. Shot, it's blocked. Rebounds in. Como now have it. Come on, boys. Get back. Get back. Get back. Como, unlucky. Gakpo tracking back, trying to press the Como player. Catches his ankle. It's a free kick. Hey Craig, have you seen the Google Pixel 11 advert with some Liverpool players? Kind of funny, mentioned the number 11. I have seen it, yes, and it is funny. I have seen the ad you're on about, alright. Busy Media, always nice to see you in, bud. Hope you're well. He said, I'm so glad to see us running, or so pleased to see us running. Oh, here we go, Isak. Ball recycled back to Verts. Dom. Strike. Oh, we've dragged it wide. So basically, Isak intercepted the ball there, but he was forced wide. Recycles it back around to Verts. Verts to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai has to kind of turn on the edge of the box, shifts across to the right, and drags his shot a little bit wide of the post. Craig, name your 11, starting 11 for Liverpool, 26-27. Alisson, hopefully Bradley when he's back. Xhaka, Virgil, Kirkes. I mean, without knowing any other midfield options, Gravenberch or Maka, one of those two. Szoboszlai, Verts, Rio, Barcola, Isak. That's my best guess at it. Hamoudi said Xhaka is class, but we need 3 more players. I think you're about right on the 3 more. We need a right back, we need a DM, and probably another forward. Kirkes now. And far less man buns as well. There's way too many ponytails and man buns for my liking in this Liverpool team. Should be mandatory when they report back for pre-season training. Like in the army, everyone's head should be shaved immediately. He says, with no envy whatsoever for all the hair. Frimpong now. He drives at the Como defence. Ball in. The Gakpo. 1-0. Lovely stuff. Well done, Jeremy Frimpong. Great ball. Driving run from Jeremy down the right-hand side. Clips in a lovely ball to Gakpo, who still had work to do. Cuts it back onto his right foot. Slots it past the keeper, and it's 1-0 Liverpool. But that all came about from a great bit of work from Jeremy Frimpong. Sorry, I'm just checking something. Scoreboard isn't updating quick enough for my liking. It is 1-0 Liverpool, but for some, there's a goal now. That's too slow. That's not good enough. So 1-0 Gakpo with the goal. 23 minutes on the clock. So there we have a lead anyway, and hopefully we don't capitulate this one. Szoboszlai, cross to Kirkes. To Isak. He cuts back inside. Gotta say though, well done to Jeremy Frimpong on that. That goal doesn't happen without Frimpong's direct running and a great ball into Gakpo as well. And Cody still had a lot to do, so fair play to him on the finish. But definitely a good goal that, and well done Jeremy and Cody. So Isak looks like he got a bit of a bang on his knee. He's walking it off. It looks like it was just a contact injury. It doesn't seem there's anything to be concerned about. Isak's not injured. Can we stop saying people are injured? He got a bang on his knee. There's a big difference between a bang on his knee and injured. Stop putting the frighters of people in the chat, lads, will you? He's running around. There's nothing wrong with Isak. There's absolutely nothing wrong with him. He took a little bang on his knee, rubbed it for a minute, and now he's fine. That's focus on me. I'll tell you if there's anything to worry about. Don't worry about the chat saying injuries are at. And if there's an injury, I'll let you know about it. And Isak's absolutely fine. He banged his knee, and the same as any of us would have rubbed their knee in that situation. He's absolutely grand. I see a couple of people saying, definitely keep Cody. Whoops. You're probably not going to be happy. Como player down now. From a challenge from Jeremy Jacquet. I see again a lot of love for Cody in the chat, which, by the way, absolutely love to see. But it definitely feels like Spurs' interest is serious. Like, as we said to you guys at the start of the stream, and there's nothing happening on the pitch, so I can take a minute to talk to you guys here. Gakpo's representative met with Richard Hughes and some Spurs officials in London yesterday. Now, I'm not saying the deal is done. It absolutely isn't. But there's obviously conversations taking place about what that might look like, what could be coming in offer-wise from Spurs. A long way to go on it. And it wouldn't, if it was close, he wouldn't be playing this game today. So don't know how it pans out, but it's certainly a possibility that Gakpo goes to Spurs. But again, not saying it's in any way nailed on. How does Jacquet look? Good is the answer. Genuinely good. Looks confident. He's been organising as well, which I like to see, especially in his first game. He's only going to get 45 today, so just keep that in mind when he goes off a half-time. Around, he'll be playing the second half, but certainly a very promising start to Jeremy Jacquet. Oof, again, physicality there. This time it's from Gravenberch. Referee plays an advantage. Jacquet again, good strong defending. Yes, Jeremy. That is class. Class from Mr. Jacquet. That is really, really good defending there. Not only did he protect the ball, but he managed to get away as well and play it in. Como now in. Oh, Jeremy Frimpong, you absolute legend. Frimpong he's having a brilliant game. That's the second time he's gone to ground and stopped an attack. And if he didn't there, it's 1-1. Frimpong doesn't get that block in. He probably side foots it past the keeper. Absolutely brilliant defending from Jeremy Frimpong. Set up the goal and has defended really well today as well. Really good defending that. Frimpong's having a blinder. There's no other way to put it. He's having a blinder. Como now on the attack. Slip it in down the right. Goes around the outside. Kirkes, he tries to block, but Como player recycles it and turns back in. Well done, boys. Dom gets in, crowds out. Now Wirtz has it. Liverpool look to counter. Again, Florian taking too much out of the ball and gets dispossessed and we turn over possession. He needs to cut that out. Yes, I know he's an attacking player and you want him taking some chances, but he's turned over possession 3 times I can remember so far in this half. And that's led to Alisson having to make a save at his near post. And that came yet again from Wirtz giving it away by taking too much out of the ball. We talked about it earlier on in the half. We said it's something that happened to us a bit last year, that he's trying to do something to make it happen, but when he turns over possession, we're countered quickly, and this ends up with Como getting a bit of joy down Liverpool's right, and Alisson having to make a save at his near post. Corner in from Como. Headed away by Virgil. It's not fully cleared though. Second ball's hooked away by Gravenberch. But again, it's a bit of a mess clearance. Frimpong puts it back in the wrong direction. And there's Wirtz trying to flick again. And guess what? Turns over possession again. Como have it again. We've made, like, that was a pretty messy defensive 20 seconds. There's 3 sliced clearances and then Como still in possession. Strike. Just dragged wide again. Alisson scurrying across. Just, we aren't clearing our lines well enough. They're trying to be too clever on occasion. Just put the fucking laces through it, lads. Right, we're back underway. Kirkes with the ball. He rolls it into Gakpo. He's dispossessed. He goes to the ground looking for a free kick. Ref says nothing doing. Como on the attack again. Another strike from distance. Thankfully goes wide. Need to protect the football better. You know, that was Cody's first time being dispossessed, in fairness, but that's a few times now that Liverpool players have been in possession of the ball and turned it over, and it's led to the opposition having a shot. Jacquet now. Out to Jeremy. Back to Jeremy Jacquet. Gravenberch to Virgil. Irish boy, always a pleasure, bro, and thank you for being with us. So if you are joining us and you're wondering how some of the players are getting along, Jeremy Jacquet is having a brilliant game for his first game. Star of the match for me so far is definitely Frimpong. I think he's been sensational. Isak looks fairly sharp as well. Rio's caused the problems down the right-hand side. But that would be my synopsis of it so far. Really good start from Jeremy. Frimpong absolutely top-notch. Rio looking bright. Isak looking sharp. Wirtz has caused some problems, but not in a good way. He's been dispossessed on occasion 3-4 times. It's led to counter-attacks. Virgil obviously looks like Virgil, which we all know and love. Szoboszlai probably not being as involved in an attacking sense as much as he'd want, but certainly the one that's trying to make things tick from back there. Virgil now to Jacquet. Alisson back to Jacquet. Him and Virgil have temporarily swapped sides. Cody Gakpo to Kirkes. Back into Dom. Dom's looking for something ahead of him, but there's not much on, so he's kind of just shifting left to right, looking for something. Plays it into Kirkes. Jacquet, nice ball into midfield to Gravenberch. Lovely little dinked ball, unlucky. Second ball drops to Dom, edge of the box. Dom tries to shift onto the right peg for a shot. He's closed down. Frimpong. Rio. Oh, unlucky. Dragged wide. Takes a deflection, I think, off a Como player. It'll be a Liverpool corner. It's good play again from Liverpool. Dom was shifting left and right, looking for a strike. Gets a stride away. Ricochets off a Como player into the right channel. Frimpong initially then tries to flick it back in. It's again blocked. Comes to Rio Engamoa. He then tries a shot and it goes behind. It'll be a Liverpool corner. Yeah, well done. Liverpool corner on the far side of the pitch. Right, ball in from Dom. Oh, he's looking for Verge and nearly gets on the end of it. Wirtz has it though. Goes back to Frimpong. Jacquet. He clipped. Well done, Jeremy. Love that he was aware of his surroundings there, by the way. Did you see as Jacquet was receiving the ball, he had a little look over his shoulder just to see where his man was. Ball in. Oh, lucky. Virgil's unhappy. He feels like we should have had a corner. There was an early ball chipped in and Virgil was still in the opposition penalty area. He tries a diving header. He feels it should be a corner. Let's have a look. I don't know, actually. I can't tell from that angle. I don't know. Virgil is adamant it should have been a corner anyway, but it's a goal kick that's given. Itachi said the two Jeremys are out here on fire. Jaden said, so the partnerships are Dom Hugo and Isak Verts. Looks that way, yes. I think that's a good observation. How close is Naomi to a starting place? Hard to say. I mean, I fully expect him to be in every matchday squad this season and to get minutes, but I don't know when we would maybe expect him to be in the best 11 or the starting 11. But there's certainly a lot of credibility to the idea of him getting minutes this season. And I think he'll take Jones's minutes. Well, I'd be happy with him taking Jones' minutes anyway. Oh, come on, Mr. Sutty. Stop with the trolling. Where's my hook caps? Dude, if you have hook caps, I feel sorry for you. You know, I didn't even know hook caps were still a thing. You know, me being a super high flying influencer, obviously I have diamond cut alloys, bro. So I'm not in the hook cap world. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can make your shitty Liverpool, you know, council estate jokes if you want, but you know, admitting you have hook caps, oh God, let me know. I'll send you a set of alloys, mate. Let me know. You know, we know some people at Wolf Race and a few others. We sort you out with a set of wheels. Oh, Como, good challenge from Jacques. That's the one thing, by the way, my missus that absolutely wouldn't be having. My missus deep down is a boy racer. And there's no way that we'd be having a car with hubcaps on it, mate. You know, if they're not a set of diamond cut alloys, my missus be divorcing me. Another great bit of defending there from Mr. Jacquet. Right, folks, if you can do me a little favour, if you haven't subscribed, please do. You're very welcome along to the channel. Obviously, we do daily content on here, and tonight we'll be back with we'll have a match reaction video, and we'll also have a late night news video coming up. Again, Jacquet back there doing defending. I mean, I'm already in love. I'm just going to say that. I'm already in love with Jacquet. 36 minutes into his Liverpool debut, and I'm in love already. Eno said, improvement of Frimpong already. Without a doubt, Ian, he has been, you know, him and Jacquet, for me, star boys today so far in the game. You know, special shout out to Cody as well for his goal. But yeah, I think they've been brilliant, mate. But Como, I think it's fair to say Como have been knocking on the door a bit as well. They've certainly had some good opportunities, and some good last-ditch defending has snuffed out some of these opportunities for them. And Doak was a big loss for the season thanks to Brexit. Well, I think, Dara, if I'm not mistaken, mate, I think only till January. I think Liverpool can bring him back in January if they need him. I think the work permit thing only lasts till then, as far as I'm aware. Julio said Anfield singing Jacquet's name. Safe to say he's a fan favourite already. But he's got me one over. Do you know what I mean? He's definitely got me one over. Like I said, same with Leone. It took me half an hour of looking at Leone to go, he's a player. He's an absolute player. You can tell again looking at Jacquet what he's about, and he looks damn good. Victor said, Canada wiping tears. Well, look, very early days, but at this point, it feels like the number 5 position's been upgraded. Yeah, you know, really happy with what I'm seeing so far from Jeremy Frimpong, and you can see why we paid what we did and moved so hard from. He looks quality. He just does. He looks quality. I might even rename the Anfield Agenda penis, Jeremy, just for the next 24 hours, you know, just as homage to the great man. You know, he was called Jurgen for the longest time, but he might have to be renamed on the next Red Panty night to Mr. Jacquet. Hi, kids. Charles said this team looked like a team that is comfortably playing an Iriola's system. Every part of the pitch seems so well drilled. Verts and Isak are great. Jacques is sublime. Excited to see what's to come. I mean, I love the relationship there between Verts and Isak, but I'd be a liar, Charles, if I said I was happy with what I'm seeing from Verts today. I'm not. He's he's definitely getting involved in the action, but he needs to protect the ball better. He's given it away too many times that have led to counter attacks, and that would be the downside of it. But the understanding between himself and Isak's definitely there. Andy Ghost Quad said our defence is looking a lot better with having Xhaka in the team. Definitely, mate. Definitely. He's made a big impression on me anyway in this first half. And do you know what the fun part is? We get to see El Ronald Araujo second half. So we get to have a look at Mr. Araujo as well, which I'm very much looking forward to. But yes, right now, Jeremy Frimpong would be my man of the match so far. Here comes Verts now. He plays it out left side to Kirkes, to Gakpo. Gakpo cuts back inside, puts in a cross. Unfortunately, it's overhit and it's too close to the Como keeper. Ahmed said, just to let people know, some fans want to sell Frimpong. Well, I wouldn't be in the sell him camp, but I would be in somebody that never really felt comfortable with him having a nailed on position. Because, like I said, he's not really a right winger for me, and lots of managers haven't wanted to use him at right back. But all that being said, not put a foot wrong today. Not put a foot wrong. And if we can keep this version of Frimpong and he can play like this, him and Bradley will have some battles for the right back spot. There's a lot of hypotheticals in there, but I tell you what, today's making a statement, and anybody who tries to say otherwise, I think, is just being disingenuous. He's been very, very good in both ends of the pitch. Isak out to Virgil, back into Kirkes, Dom. Wharton is not a DM. Respectfully disagree, Simon. It depends on the system and the way that you're playing, but I think of him as a 6. Now, how you talk about a 6, I guess, is another thing. But a DM doesn't have to be a destroyer. A DM can be a regista. A DM can be somebody who dictates the tempo of play. A DM can be somebody who breaks up play, like a Busquets, a Rodri. I would view Wharton as somebody who sets the tempo, passes through the lines, and controls it from deep. That's the way I would think of him. Right, another corner to Liverpool. It's kind of floated in this time from Szoboszlai, headed back in by Virgil. Como headed clear. Virgil heads it back in again. Como headed clear down to Verge. Slips it into Cody. Yes! 2-0. Isak with the goal. No, it's Xhaka. My apologies. I thought that was Isak initially. It's Xhaka. Oh, hello, Jeremy. Welcome to the club. It's Xhaka. My apologies. I assumed because he was in the centre forwards position, it was Isak. But no, it's Jeremy Xhaka. And Cody Gakpo, not just with a goal in today's game, but an assist as well. So there you go, Jeremy Xhaka, first Liverpool appearance, damn good defensive display. And then he says, you know what, lads, I'm having a goal as well, so just give me the damn ball. And that's exactly what happens. Cody Gakpo puts it on a plate, rolls it across the 6-yard box, and Jeremy Xhaka in there doing centre forward things. Love it. Well in, boys. That's a good goal. Well done. What a start for Xhaka. What a start. I can't be the only one that thought that was Isak when you just look up and see somebody in the 6-yard box for a tap in. I fully was thinking that was Isak, but no, it was our centre back, Jeremy Xhaka. So yes, it's a goal and an assist for Mr. Gakpo. And Xhaka, playing his first 45, gets himself on the score sheet. We love that. I think we should sell Xhaka, lads. He's not good enough, is he? Sell him. Bin him off. No need. Bring back in Clavan. Get this Jacquet lad out of the club. He's an absolute mess. So, does anybody remember what month he's going to get the Ballon d'Or in, Jacquet? Because I can't remember for the life of me when they give out the Ballon d'Or. So, we're probably going to have to make sure that Jeremy has the private jet ready for the Ballon d'Or collection. And what was that, Spurs? You want to buy Cody Gakpo? £80 million now, lads. £80 million. Prices has gone up by 10 mil. There's the halftime whistle, ladies and gentlemen. And at Anfield it is. Liverpool 2, Como 0. Let me just stop the clock. 1 second. Cool. There we go. Halftime. Connor's very proud of me right now in the background, aren't you, Connor? Let's be honest. You're damn proud of me that I haven't messed up the clock in the first half. Right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Halftime at Anfield is Liverpool 2, Como 0. Goals from Cody Gakpo and Jeremy Jacquet. What an introductory 45 minutes that was for our new centre-back. Wow. There you go. And we've got Ronald Araujo to have a look at in the second half as well. So, fair to say that was a good 45 minutes. Now, it wasn't perfect. Como created opportunities, but there is a lot to be upbeat about there. Giving you my take on the first 45, I thought Frimpong was out of this world good. Jeremy Jacquet, calm and composed. Virgil looking good. So, no real issues across the back line for me. Into midfield, again, Gravenberch's good going forward. Szoboszlai good going forward. But I have to say, at times, we did still leave a bit of space in midfield to be countered. In the attacking positions, well, you can't knock Cody Gakpo's first 45 at all. I think Rio's looked good on the right when he's had the opportunity, and I've loved the overlap and runs as well from Jeremy. Isak, he's tried to get involved in the game, not really being able to get too much, but, and I don't say this lightly, and I don't say this in a negative way, I want more from Wirtz. I want more. I want a lot more. And I want better control of the football and better protection of the football. Because of the few times we were countered in that first half, a couple of them I can remember came from Wirtz being dispossessed. One came from Cody being dispossessed. He looked for a free he didn't get. So that's me being really nitpicky about it. But overall, you have to say that's a very promising 45. The stream is late. It's half time. I think you maybe are late, mate. Have a little look up there at the clock and tell me that we're late. Always critics. Always fucking critics. James said, "Oh, Jeremy Jacquet. Oh." I was singing the same. I was going for Seven Nation Army, though, to be honest. What an absolute machine. Frimpong really improved. Can't argue with that one. Absolutely agree, James. David said, "Hey, Craig, please, let's not capitulate." I'm not saying that in this time. I'm not saying that because last time I said we're not going to do it, so I'm not saying anything. I'm just going to sit back and hope we see another enjoyable 45. But without trying to be too over the top about it, Jeremy Jacquet is the new Virgil van Dijk, and that's the end of it. Yeah, look, that was a good 45. It certainly put me in good mood anyway. I'm sure you guys as well. Still some areas that we need to work on, but, you know, it's a bright 45. And again, a great introduction to Liverpool Football Club for Mr. Jeremy Jacquet. Chad said, "Give me Jacquet all day." I mean, he's very good, definitely. What a 45. It couldn't have really gone much better. Clean sheet in the 45. Really good defensive work. Couple of good challenges and blocks. Gets himself on the score sheet. Couldn't have gone much better, Chad. Gray said, "Give Jacquet a lifetime contract." That was amazing. It was. It was really good. Really, really good. Johan, how are you, bro? Said, "Oh, Jeremy Jacquet. Oh, Jeremy Jacquet." Come on, if you're not singing that at home now, I give up. Everybody in their gaffs, come on. Wake the neighbours up, fuck them, we're winning. Gomez, 10 years, 0 goals. Jacquet, 45 minutes, 1 goal. Lucas, yeah. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? It is mad, like you've said, 10 years, no goals. Jacquet, first game. job's done. Mr. A. Santino says Jacques and Leone might be something special. Absolutely. Absolutely. And, the future's always been bright at centre-back. Like we've said, it's always been a case of if Virgil leaves, do we have somebody ready to come in and lead the defence? And, Jacques shown leadership. And what I really liked about Jacques as well in the first half was, I think it was about 10 minutes, maybe not even that into the game, and you could see him orchestrating and moving players around, telling them to push out further left, moving guys across. You can see how vocal he is already as well. So he's not lacking in confidence. Craig Sidaway said, so Jacques scores his first Liverpool goal before Gomez. I know, it's mad, isn't it? It's mad. Gimaldo said, what the actual F was Slot doing to this team? Frimpong was brilliant. Without a doubt, for me, his best 45 minutes in the Liverpool shirt so far. For me, Rio can't impact the right wing like he can left wing. I sort of disagree, but I do get where you're coming from. Like, obviously, cutting in off the left side, he gets onto a stronger right foot to get a shot away. But the things that I've liked about Rio have been the connection with Frimpong. Loads of times you see Rio getting the ball in the half space and Frimpong going on the overlap. And then there's other times where Frimpong's the wider player and then you see Rio in the half space and the underlapping. So I think he's impactful, but I do get what you mean. He's more likely to grab himself a goal or whatever from the other side because he's onto his natural right foot. But experience out there is a good thing, and I think Rio's done all right because a lot more of the attacks were coming down through the left side. But I think Rio's done well. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Barcola and Gemma Andres will be ready. I've not heard much else from the initial interest in him, so I was quite excited when I found out about the fact that we'd looked at Gemma Andres from Stuttgart. Now, I'm not saying again we might not come back in. I just don't know of anything more updated than the initial interest. But we do need a DM, and I don't disagree on that one bit. But that's it. Apart from that, we get the attackers in. If Frimpong plays like this at right back, I think we're okay. Now, it's a big leap to get straight to him playing like this all the time, but at least now we're seeing it. We're seeing positivity there. We're seeing what he can do there. And if he can maintain his fitness and this, and you get Bradley back, imagine them two challenging each other for the right back spot. We're not going to have a lack of effort, are we? We're not going to have a lack of work rate or pace. So, look, there's definitely a lot to be positive about. We can get carried away too easily, but fuck it, we're supposed to, it's pre-season. We're supposed to be thinking the very best for the season ahead. So let's hope we can finish the game with a second strong 45 as well. Hey, Craze, these 45 minutes, how do you see a pacey winger helping us on the left? Two impact wingers, opinion of Rio on the right. So we do always need a bit more pace. And for all Cody Gakpo's goal-scoring attributes and his good link-up play, that direct running of fullbacks isn't something that we see enough of from him because it's not really part of his makeup and game. So I still think we need somebody there, and that'll be Barcola. Rio on the right, I'm okay with. I do understand what the gentleman said earlier on about maybe I'm not looking as much of a threat. But for us now, it's about the unit scoring the goals and it working as a unit and everybody playing their part in the unit. We relied on Mohamed Salah for so long for so many goals, but now we want them goals shifted around. We want to see Isak on the score sheet more. I want Wirtz chipping in more. Szoboszlai chipping in more. So look, promising signs, definitely. And the more we play together, the more they get used to the system, the fitter they get. You think the performance is just going to continue and get better. And if there is genuine competition there in that squad when the season starts between Barcola, Victor Munoz, Rio and Gamoa, let's say AN other forward if we bring one in, I've always said competition's what's needed, and knowing that your place isn't guaranteed to you is a good and healthy thing. I hate when we look at a team and know no matter what happens, X, Y and Z are playing. And Slot was a bit like that. He kind of had his favourites. He had the way he wanted to play and he didn't really want to change it up. And it's really difficult to say these things without knowing what happens on the training ground. But, something that Jurgen Klopp said early in his Liverpool tenure stuck with me, and he said that it's healthy and normal to bring in new players every window and to have people competing with each other. Healthy competition, pushing each other on, making the standards higher, setting the tone on the training pitch. These are things that any successful team needs. Brad said Arujo double incoming. Well, we are going to see him for the second 45, so we'll absolutely get a proper look at him. And again, thank you, my friend DDCH. I can't pronounce the rest of it. Sorry, bro, but thank you. Anfield Andy said Gakpo under Real is good. Maybe keep him. WFM. Well, I don't know if anybody can say definitively what's happening with Cody, but there's a couple of clues, right? And the clues you can look at either way. He wouldn't be playing today if something was imminent because Jones isn't in the squad. Now, they might try and say Jones has a niggle or whatever other bollocks they want us to try and swallow, but with Gakpo, he wouldn't be playing this game if it was that imminent. Now, we do know that Gakpo's representatives met with Richard Hughes and some Spurs officials in London, but again, how advanced that contract or those conversations were, I don't know. It could have been, what's your thought process? What's on offer? What kind of number are you coming in at? What's your time frame? They could be just outline conversations, but it's certainly not going to make Spurs negotiating any easier that he's having a good game today, is it? Because from Liverpool now, you're looking at it going, right, well, we want top dollar. And justifiably. But let's wait and see. At this moment in time, I don't think anybody could say to you with a concrete level of certainty, he's gone or he's staying. It seems like it's up in the air, and it might come down to if Liverpool can get a replacement, if Liverpool can line somebody up that they think can come in. That's very much one in our control. Pad said, I don't want to overreact, but I've just messaged Romano and Plettenberg and told them they need a Here We Go and Xhaka to win the Ballon d'Or. I mean, that feels sensible to me, Padge. I don't, me, bro. I don't overreact either. But yeah, it seems sensible to me. They might not even need to put the award show on. Just bring it into Liverpool and just give him the Ballon d'Or right now. Right, let's do a poll in the chat and see if there's a bit of a match day fever here. Let's ask, should we sell Gakpo? So should we sell Gakpo? Yes or no? And we'll let that poll run a little bit and we'll check on it in a while. And look, you can look at it whichever which way. You can look at it, do we sell Gakpo for the right amount of money? Do we sell Gakpo if we get a replacement player? Do we sell Gakpo because maybe Gakpo doesn't think he's going to get enough starting game time and maybe wants to go and get himself more first team football? You can interpret the question however you want. This one. What's our midfield going to look like with Maka in the mix? Hopefully more competitive, mate. It doesn't really solve the position and the problem that we have. We have an issue at DM, and we've seen in previous seasons that we can get away with certain things with a Gravenberch or a McAllister, but they aren't a DM. So I would like to see somebody put in that position, and then eventually maybe Neone stepping into it. But competition's a good thing. And the more players that we have chomping at the bit to try and get minutes, hopefully raises everybody's levels. But I think it's fair to say, and I don't want to speak for the whole chat, but I don't think any of us are convinced that we've sorted out that area of the pitch yet. Yo, Craig, September's coming, so probably planning who should we fill in for Flo when out, but obviously Dom, but I think it could be Ekatike as a deeper number 9. Maka can play as a 10 at times as well, let's not forget, and has done it before. Dom can absolutely move more forward. Yeah, there's every opportunity maybe that if we need to, Dom can slip into the 10 and Maka can go back into midfield with Gravenberch. I mean, it's hard to talk about Ekatike at the minute because he's months and months away from being back. So then the more interesting question, though, I think, is what happens when we need to rest Isak? That's the part that I'm fascinated about for the season. Are we going to see somebody like a Barcola given license centrally? Are we going to see a false 9 like a Wirtz or somebody like that? That's the part that I'd love to get some clarity on from the manager. Chad said Munoz is going to add another dimension up front. Oh yeah, I think we're going to love him, Chad. I think he's going to give us, that kind of, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Bull terrier kind of attitude. He's got pace, he's got aggressiveness, he can play across the front line. I think he's going to be a very, very astute piece of business for the money we paid. Ray said Gakpo goal and assist, so he's worth 140 million now, right? Well, that seems to be the metric, isn't it? Yeah, 140 million for Cody Gakpo Spurs. It's going up here. We've gone from 70 to 80 to now 140. So just contact Ray and get the deal done. Ray, I'll leave you to those negotiations. Right, we've got Xhaka off for the second half, and of course Ronald Araujo coming on. Let me just get the clocks ready to go. So we are going to see Mr. Araujo for the second 45 minutes. Gravenberch in a conversation with Szoboszlai as well. What's this message? So apparently there's no Bradley Barcola or Ibrahim Mbaye in the Paris Saint-Germain squad for the game tonight. Looks like we could be seeing a bit of an end game approaching, ladies and gents. I'll go back to that comment in a second. I'm just waiting for this to get underway. So right, Araujo in to play alongside Virgil in the centre back position for the second half. Referee doing his final checks and we're about to get underway. Right, ladies and gents, we are underway for the second 45. Yeah, so to get back to that post from the Anfield Agenda X account, no Bradley Barcola or Ibrahim Mbaye in the PSG squad for tonight's game. So take that from that what you will. Oh, almost straight away through on the attack again. Szoboszlai slips one in looking for Gakpo. There's a little bit too much zip on it. Sorry, I'm playing catch up on some super chats here. 1 second. Extend Jeremy now, John Henry. Canade who? Exactly, Josh. Canade who? He'll be warming Madrid's bench. We need the DM that is a destroyer. Szoboszlai and Gravenberch's good with the ball, but we are a bit open defensively, in my opinion. Hope Vert steps up, said 195 Chrysler. We definitely need somebody, I don't disagree at all. We need somebody at the base of that midfield with a bit more of a defensive mind. And ideally, that player would, of course, be able to spot a pass as well. But I don't disagree with you. Logan said, taking your advice next time and leaving the missus at home. Last week was her first game. Hope you're good, mate. And hope the family as well. Yeah, as I said to you before, mate, my missus came over to a game with me many, many years ago, and Liverpool lost to Benfica, and that was the last time I brought my missus to Anfield. So, yeah, fully believe she's the jinx, even though I was there and we lost against United, but I'm blaming her, and I'm glad to see you're following by example. Mark said, sell Gakpo, top dollar, get Barcola and Mbaye in. I think, I don't have as much information on Mbaye, Mark, to say any level of confidence. Barcola, my stance on, but, if you're looking at it and trying to make an object or an objective guess on it, no Mbaye in the squad. Liverpool met with Mbaye's representatives twice now. Liverpool are in conversations about a potential move for Gakpo. Strike there from Como, which is straight at Alisson, who makes the save. So I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's crazy, Mark, to suggest that might be the direction we see this moving in. But I will have a news video coming out at about 9:30, 9:45 tonight, which I will have more updated news for you at that point. Right, anyway, let's get back to match commentary. Sorry, folks, I just wanted to play catch up with those super chats there. Apologies if I haven't been doing the comms. So Wirtz wins the ball back there. Now it's with Rio. He does so well there. Now just finished the job, Rio. No, he's dispossessed. It was good from Rio. He was in a tight spot, gets out of it, moves in towards the centre of the pitch. He thinks he gets fouled. Referee waves play on, and now it's a free kick to Como. about 22, 25 yards outside Liverpool goal, left-hand side of the penalty area. So myself and Connor were considering adding something in, but it feels a bit over the top if we do it because it restricts the Ireland. So myself and Connor have a membership for the Three Arena in Dublin where we can get access to a private members club and a few other bits. So there might be a few giveaways over the course of the next year or two that we do that include concert tickets and access to that. But I would feel a bit guilty about it because obviously it'll be for Irish people in the main, because if you want to come over from the UK to a show, fair enough, but keep an eye out for that because we might give a few tickets away over the year. Free kick, defended by Liverpool. Second ball's back in. It's hooked away by Szoboszlai. Another ball back in, but Alisson will come and grab it. I have to say, I hate the goalkeeper shirt this season, the green one. I hate it. I think it's terrible and lazy. Love the black and pinky one, but don't like that one bit. Mark, again, 21 months as a member, bro, said Gakpo is a one-trick pony. But it's a good trick. Like, we can all say what we want about Cody Gakpo, and I'm not, disagreeing or agreeing, but he gets goals and assists. He does chip in with his fair amount every year. Keno, thank you for the kind words in the chat as well, mate. Appreciate you. Right, it's Gravenberch. Back to Virgil. So that seems to have been the only change, by the way, from the manager, was the change at centre-back. Araujo in the place of Jeremy Jacquet. But what an introductory 45 we've seen from Jeremy. Virgil now, back to Alisson. Alisson to Araujo. Araujo goes out right side to Frimpong. Frimpong to Wirtz. To Rio. Gravenberch over to Virgil. Virgil out. Left side to Milos. Gakpo. Isak. His balls is a loose one and it allows Como to regain possession. Liverpool get bodies back, but again, loose from Isak. He's coming back in. He's just trying to play the ball and then swing around and go back off the shoulder of the defender, but his ball was misplaced and now Como are in possession in their own half. Krishna said, can Bajcetic be that DM that can solve our problem? I don't think we can categorically say one way or the other. Levels wise, we know what he can do, but it's his fitness levels that have been the problem. And the fact that he has 1 year to go on his Liverpool deal, Krishna, it's a big call that the club have to make. Like, what do they do? Do they extend him and hope that the injuries are behind him? Do they extend him and send him out on loan again, or do they let his contract run down? Because performances-wise, when you see him, there's a player there, but he just hasn't been able to keep his fitness, unfortunately, and you can't be reliant on somebody that can't stay fit. Well done, Araujo. Clears his lines there under pressure, but Como have it back centre of the park. Come on, boys. Como looking to find a way through. Gravenberch gets a good block in. Wirtz, the Gakpo. Liverpool try and counter now. Gakpo slips the ball in left side to Isak. Kirkes goes on the overlap. Ball pulled back in. Unlucky. Good play. Unlucky. That was a good move. So Wirtz starts the ball. He plays the ball back infield. Comes out then to Isak. Isak has Kirkes on the overlap, slips it into him. Kirkes pulls a lovely ball back towards the penalty spot to Wirtz. Wirtz cushions the ball down into the path of Isak. He just can't control his shot though, and his shot goes a little bit high and wide. But it was lovely attacking play and good setup and good connection again between Isak and Wirtz. Just the finish was all that was missing, but that was really good link-up play. Jacob said, Craig, I know Romano's got a few things right, but do you think a lot of stuff in the media is false or guesswork? Loads of signings out of nowhere, not just for us, but other teams. I mean, there's a very long-winded answer I can give you for that one, or a short one. Hang on. Well done, Alison. I think ultimately, any journalist is reliant on the information that they get. And sometimes you have to ask who's pushing what. So sometimes a club will brief a journalist or journalists to want to push a certain narrative. Other times it's agents maybe pushing and talking to journalists about trying to almost engineer a move for their player, or to say that the player only wants X and Y club, and then to stop a bid more happening to make it a more smooth thing. And I don't know Fabrizio Romano on a personal level, so I've no idea how he operates and what he does. But I do know that there are some football clubs that have, and this was in a report the other day in the Daily Mail, that have stopped answering his calls. So ultimately, any information in football is what people want you to know. Sometimes clubs work stealthily and don't get anything done. And let's be honest, as fans, they're the ones we enjoy. But you have to think of the transfer stuff as an industry, because that's what it is at this point, especially with social media being the way it is. So yes, sometimes some stuff is probably educated guesses. Sometimes stuff is journalists being given stuff by the clubs that could be misdirection at times. So I don't think anyone's perfect, because it's impossible to be. It's impossible to be in this industry or in these jobs, because what could be true now might not be true in 12 hours' time. Something could have changed. The part that I get wound up about is when I'd say something like Barcola is going to happen, and people get antsy because it doesn't happen in the time frame that they want, and then they come in and have a pop at you. Now, of course, I want it done as quickly as I can get it done, or quickly, excuse me, as it can get done. But you can never control time frames of anything. But you know, I'll always just tell you what I know and what I don't know. If I don't know something, I'll never have any problem saying I don't know it. Romano obviously gets great information, but it's not all pros and cons, or all pros. There's certainly some negatives there as well. But with anyone, you can point to any journalist that you want, and you can find 10 deals they got wrong, because it's an impossibility to be perfect in that industry. It's impossible. Right, Como still on the attack, 10 minutes into the second half. And also, sometimes as somebody in this industry, who who has pre-existing relationships with who. So you know what certain journalists and agents and clubs and who their contacts are and where they get their information from. So yeah, I find the whole shit fascinating. Just as a neutral, as a fan, I find all of the transfer stuff fascinating, because years ago we had none of this, right? It was just, you read the paper, you find it out. Nowadays, with social media and everything moving so quickly and phones everywhere, and it's much, much harder to keep this thing under wraps. Owen said, we keep an eye on the Community Shield. Arsenal were good, but Man City were shocking. I probably watched about 45 minutes of it all in. Probably 30 minutes of the first half and 15 in the second. Yeah, City looked a bit disjointed, all right, but Arsenal looked sharp. Shot there from Como. Player cuts back inside, kind of in line with the edge of the 6-yard box. Tries to beat Allison at the near post, and it goes wide, goal kick. But Como have been knocking on the door here again in the second half. The Bulls said, what's your thoughts on the new promoted teams? Do you think they will stay up? I don't know much about Hull, to be honest. I just don't. Do I think any of them will stay up? Oh, hang on. Corner. Good defended. Good defended from Virgil. So Como slipped the player in, one-on-one basically with Allison. You're expecting him to get a shot away. Then Virgil comes in with a last gasp challenge, and it goes behind for a corner. Great defender from Virgil, but let me have a look at this properly. There's a lovely ball in. Virg sniffs it out very quickly. It was a lovely little outside of the foot pass, but Verge comes across so quickly to snuff out the danger. Corner in, first ball's headed away. Second ball, Como win it edge of the box. What's with the Elmo? Bear with me. See, I always feel bad when I tell the Elmo story because offside flag. I know some people know the Elmo story and are probably sick of me saying it, but I like to answer the questions when you ask them. So, the Elmo story is my wife's always been an Elmo fan, and since I've met my wife and I'm together with my wife now, we are 26 years together. So when I met my wife, she had an Elmo hot water bottle cover and always loved Elmo. So anyway, long story short, many years pass, we have kids, and then we have our second child, and our second child is a boy called Lucas. And Lucas was diagnosed with autism when he was about 5, 4.5, 5. And we went on a family trip over to Florida. And like any family going to Florida, you go to the theme parks. And one of the theme parks we went to was Busch Gardens. And in Busch Gardens, there's a Sesame Street land. So we went there with our young son. So you're in the Sesame Street land, and then the characters come out for photographs. And my wife spots the Elmo character. So my wife then goes, Lucas will love to go see Elmo, so let's bring Lucas over to Elmo. So they queue up for the photograph, and it's their turn to go up and get their photograph with Elmo. So my son then starts freaking out a little bit because he had some sensory issues with the noise and stuff that was there. And he put his hands over his ears and he kind of was freaking out. And then Elmo, whoever was in that Elmo costume, did the exact same thing and calmed my son down because my son seen that Elmo was doing the same thing that he was. And I got that photograph and I still have it. And it made me cry because that was the first time I'd really seen my son in that environment after his diagnosis, freaking out. And I still to this day don't know if it was a man or a woman or whoever was in that Elmo costume that day, made my son's day a lot better and left a lasting impression on me. So we've always tried to have something Elmo in our background. And when we moved into a real studio, I said to Sabrina, my wife, we're going on and we're getting a Tickle Me Elmo. Where are you, little fecker? And we're putting it in the studio. So it's just a little nod to my family, really, is the honest answer. And to that legend who was in that Elmo costume that day. One sec. I know it's a bit soppy, but I love my family to bits. I love my little man to bits. And that person that day just made a family and a father really happy. So I'll always be grateful to that person, even though I don't know who it is. Sorry, bear with me, folks. There it is. So there's the picture. Just in case anyone thinks I'm on a wind-up or I'm lying or anything. That's the picture. As you can see, Elmo doing the exact same thing as my son. And I calmed my son down for the photograph. And as a father, it just meant a lot to me. So yeah, there's the photo anyway. Anyway, Lewis Kumas coming on now for Liverpool. So Kumas on for the Reds. Oh, I closed on the wrong thing there. I think, I wasn't looking up, but I think he came on for Rio. Apologies if I'm wrong on that. Oh, sugar, I'm closed on the wrong thing again. There you go. Right, Como takes the corner short. Ball pulled back. Good challenge from Dom, but Como still in possession. Again, Frimpong steps in to win it back. Then Como turn it back over. It's all very hectic here at the minute. As a team, Como are fairly small as a team. Like, they're very good technically, but they're not big physical players out there. As Kumas, he's dispossessed, but the ball breaks in midfield now to Soboslai. He's shifted out left-hand side to Gakpo. Kirke's on the overlap. Gakpo fires one in looking for Isak. It's defended by Como. .63 on the clock. Still Liverpool 2, Como 0. Keeper said, always happy to see that photo. It restores my faith in humanity. It was just, there had been 2 moments on our family holidays that just stopped me in my tracks and made me emotional. One was that picture with Elmond. Another one was when we went to an aquarium and my son was standing in front of a huge tank full of loads of fish and he was just mesmerised. It's just, I never see him that calm and he was just mesmerised at the photo. And yeah, I'm a bit of a soppy old fool, so these things just make me a bit emotional. But that day, I don't know who that person was in the Elmo character, and I'll never know, but God, I wish I could buy them a drink or a meal to say thank you. Right, throw into Como on the far side. So for anyone who came in late and wasn't really with us from the start, Jeremy Jacquet played the first 45, was absolutely sublime and got himself a goal as well. Araujo's on for the second half and hasn't really put a foot wrong so far. Speaking of, he's on the ball right now, Ronald Araujo. Ball into Wirtz. Even that little simple pass from Wirtz to Frimpong was 2 yards behind him and forced us to have to go backwards. The phrase lackadaisical and too relaxed is what I'm saying here for Wirtz all the time. It's just simple things that he should be doing better. He's not doing right. And I know that's a small example, but that ball that was 2 yards the wrong side of Frimpong forced them to have to go back to the goalkeeper. And it was just a simple little pass. Lackadaisical, sloppy, they're probably the words I'd use. Right, so we asked at half-time, what should we do with Cody Gakpo? Should we sell Cody Gakpo? And it's a close one, but 55% of the people that took part in the poll said no, 45% said yes. For me, I think the answer, for me, just my opinion, on whether we should sell Cody Gakpo or not depends on the replacement. That's the answer that I would give. Without knowing who that is, I'm not sure. But if we know who the replacement is, I think we can talk about it in a bit more detail. Como on the attack, ball in. Again, Ronald Araujo steps in there to clear it. Good positioning from him. We've certainly had to soak up a lot more in the second half. Como have been on the front foot more in the second half. I don't know if it's an intensity thing, a fitness thing from us, if maybe the minutes are catching up with us, but they're the ones that seem to be, again, growing into the game more and more. 66 on the clock. Still 2-0 to Liverpool. Sebastian, thank you, mate, for the kind words, bro. Appreciate you. Kumas this time is judged to have fouled the Como player and track him back. So where are we with Kumas? Let's put this one as a poll. One sec. Right, so Keep or loan Kumas this season? That's the poll that I have in there now. What should we do with young Lewis Kumas? Keep him or loan him out? Como on the attack again, down Liverpool's left-hand side. Kirkes comes across to put a bit of pressure on. Como still in possession. They tried to slip a ball in behind the Liverpool defence, but their forwards weren't on the same wavelength and they go straight through to Alisson. He rolls it out to Wirtz. Wirtz dribbles into a bit of space. And look at that again. Again, Wirtz turns over possession, and it's not fucking good enough. It's not good enough for a player that has had the time to bed in. These are the type of things that should be bread and butter to him. And yet again there, does a lot of the good stuff, and then the last ball, he makes a mess of it and gives it away, and now we're countered and Como on the attack again. And I'm getting a little bit of a pain in my hoop with it, to be honest. I've counted at least 4 times in this game that he's turned over possession from just under hit passes. Nathan said it's pre-season. Mate, the league starts in a week. So it's the very, 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 very tail end of pre-season. And what he's doing has nothing to do with whether it's pre-season or not. It's simple passes. It's got nothing to do with fitness or anything like that. It's just, it almost feels lazy at times. Like he feels like he's playing within himself and he's not fully concentrating. Not that deep. No, it is. It is. Because you're the very one that'll come on and bitch and moan if he does it and we give away a goal in a game. It is absolutely that deep and it is that important. If you don't think turning over possession 4 or 5 times in a game, which is leading to counter-attacks, is a big issue, I don't know what to say to you. But you're wrong. And you don't know what you're looking at. Because think about it. When you play for a manager like Iriola and you're in possession and you're attacking, you want bodies getting forward. Now, those bodies getting forward are committing themselves. So if you turn over possession, straight away you've got men in the wrong half of the pitch who've committed themselves and their full-backs are high up, and you're turned quickly, you've less defenders. It's not rocket science. You can't give the ball away that cheaply in that half of the pitch. You just can't do it. I give a young lad I believe in time. Dude, he's in his 2nd season. Do you know what I mean? Just because you believe in him doesn't mean that he's not making mistakes. I love him. I believe in him. I defended him all the last year. But let's be honest, he has to step up. We paid a lot of money for him. This is year 2. He has to step up, and these are simple things that he should be doing better. And we are right to judge him at this level because we're talking about a British record when we brought him in. And certainly a record for us. And we were patient in year 1. You know, if he's not doing it at this point, this deep in the pre-season again, I'm concerned. I can't lie, I'm concerned. Because I know what he's capable of, and he's better than that. Right, we're into the final 20 of this one, still 2-0 to Liverpool. So on a little bit on why Barcola isn't in the squad there tonight. Trainioni coming on now for Liverpool and Victor Munoz. So Wirtz off, Gakpo off, Nioni on, Munoz on. So there's the 2 changes. Victor Munoz on for Wirtz, Trainioni on, Gakpo off. So information coming in from France, from Jamil, around Barcola, said even if the player had simply indicated desire not to extend without necessarily demanding a departure this summer, Luis Enrique believes the situation would impact his performance and his commitment. The Spanish coach has therefore decided, let his management know that he was open to a sale of Bradley Barcola. So as you can see, like I promised you, that deal's going in the direction that he ends up a Liverpool player. And it's starting to come out more and more and more. And as each day goes by, more and more stuff. And Barcola will, in my humble opinion, become a Liverpool player, like I've said. Romano posted to say Barcola not even on the bench for Paris Saint-Germain tonight. Liverpool remain in positive, active talks to bring him to Anfield in the next days. Excuse me. What's interesting here, by the way, as well, is that Munoz has come on to play right side this time. We've seen him play left side in other games, and this time he's on the right-hand side of attack, showing again that versatility. Como now. Ball in behind Liverpool's fullbacks. Ball chipped in. Header, wide, goal kick. So 16 to go on this one. Still Liverpool 2-0. Como making some more changes now as well. So I just want to make one thing really clear. My critiquing of Wirtz isn't from a position of being not right. Now, I absolutely do. But at some point, you're going to have to hold him to the standards we know he's capable of. And I was, one of the people who was happy to give him a season to bet in. But he has to step up this year. We need him to step up. We need Isak to step up. They have to show why Liverpool spent that money. And they always get a year to settle in. But now I want more from Wirtz. I want more from Isak. Como again, playing some nice, neat stuff, but Liverpool soaking it up, really. Not really forcing anything too dramatic out of Alisson, any too many saves, nothing like that. Araujo's looked relatively comfortable so far. I say that, he pins a Virgil van Dijk diagonal looking for Kumas, who's on the left-hand side. So at the moment, the Liverpool attack looks like this. Luis Kumas on the left, Victor Munoz on the right, and Isak through the middle. Bayu said, nice to meet you all from Indonesia. How are you, my friend? Welcome in. Lovely to have you with us. And if you are with us today for the first time in the chat, anybody, you're very welcome along. My name's Craig. I usually host here on the channel. And pleasure to have you with us. Still, Como pushing, but Liverpool chasing shadows here at times. But there's Araujo stepping in to win the ball back. Nice. It's loose from Isak this time. So Araujo wins the ball back. He slips it into Gravenberch, and Gravenberch puts it into Isak, and Isak's loose touch sees the ball taken off him and put out for Liverpool throw-in. Araujo looking for options ahead of him. He's got Nioni if he wants them, but he goes back to Alisson. Oh, have we got the here we go for Rodri, have we? That is some get for Barcelona, lads. And look, as somebody who supports Barca over in the Spanish League, I'm happier to see Rodri go there than Real Madrid. That's a good get for Barcelona. I mean, I need somebody to confirm it is true in the chat, but there's enough people saying it that I don't think it's anyone on the wind-up or anything. How has Araujo been? He's looked good. Yeah, I have no issues with what I've seen from Araujo in this game at all. Every centre-back that's taken to the pitch for Liverpool in this game so far has done well. Oh, it's definitely true. There's too many people. Thank you, by the way, because I don't have Twitter or anything. There we go. Yeah, I've got the post now. Keane sent it on to me. Rodri to Barcelona. Here we go. Deal agreed for the Spanish midfielder to join Barcelona from Manchester City. All done for the former Ballon d'Or. Green light for Man City to last Barcelona bid. More follows. So as you can see, that is, look, for us Premier League rivals of Manchester City, that's good news. I'm not going to try and say otherwise. You're talking about the best holding midfielder in the world, and best player at the World Cup probably as well, and he's just gone to Barcelona there. So two ways to look at that. One, our competitors just became a little bit weaker, but also Barcelona have probably moved themselves on now as well to a pretty good shout for major honours. I know they won the league title last year, but that could be a Champions League defining type of signing. Where are we at? Ray said, digging how aggressively assured Ronald Araujo is. Yeah, he hasn't looked at all phased. Both of them, him and Virgil van Dijk's reading of the game and their interceptions and the positions they're taken up of being spot on. Jacquet was brilliant in the first half as well. Corbin said, Flo, I'm not giving up on, but it's worrying me. It's worrying me as well, because he's so much better, and the things that he's doing is usually the easiest part of whatever pattern of play we're in. So he does the part where he protects the ball and gets away from people, and then it's in that moment where it almost feels like mentally switching off. AP said, what's your assessment of our playing style so far? I think I probably understand and agree with what Iriola said. When our fitness levels are at their peak, we look more than capable of blowing a team off the pitch. But can we keep that up and build that up to sustain it over the course of a 90-minute game? So far, you'd have to say the evidence is no. And we haven't been able to put in anywhere near as good a second half as the first half was. But there's so many good signs that you can see what they're working on. Kumas, unlucky. So again, Liverpool slipped the ball in there on the left. I don't know if it was adrenaline or whatever for Kumas, but he overhits the cross and it goes out on the far side for a throw in on this near side, but the far side from where he passed it. Nathan Green said, Craig, would you rather Araujo or Jacquet start against Newcastle? Oh, dude. I'm delighted to say I'd be happy with either, but probably Jacquet, because the reason I say Jacquet is we know he's a Liverpool player for the future. We don't know what the situation is with Araujo past this season, but, none of them have put any worries in me when I've seen them. Both of them have looked pretty assured in different ways, but I'd say Jacquet for the reason that I've said. Free kick to Liverpool. Soboslai's foot clipped. Como players aren't happy, but referee blows the whistle. Thank you, my man. Member with us for 3 years now, bro. Absolute legend. Thank you. Right, so we have a poll question running where we asked you guys, keep or loan Kumas for the season ahead. So we'll leave it up for another minute or two. Music Mixer said, it sucks trying to watch games here in the States. It's not the most popular sport, so streaming costs $40 a month. My Sky bill's €200 a month. Now, that's including broadband, but it is expensive, and that's for TNT Sport, Sky, Premier Sport. Then you need to have Amazon. It's definitely expensive to be watching football these days. Soboslai clips one in. Virgil heads it back across, but it wasn't to a Liverpool player. And now Como trying to transition into attack. Liverpool have bodies back and get a challenge in. It goes out for Como throw in, which they look to take quickly. Araujo does well though. Comes across. Well done. Comes across and puts enough pressure on the man. Now it's with Alisson. Are you excited for the season ahead? Definitely. Always filled with anticipation for the new season. Initially, when I seen we got Newcastle in the first game away from home, mate, I was very nervous about it because it's never an easy trip. But Newcastle have been all over the shop. So, could be the right time to play them. I'm hoping it is. But yeah, I'm excited. Isak's going off now to be replaced by Will Wright in the attacking department here. So, young Will Wright on for some more minutes. And a good 83 minutes in the bank for Isak. Trevor Chalobah now coming off for Como to be replaced by Kempf. Joseph said Barcola isn't in the PSG squad. Yeah, and nor is Mbaye, I believe, as well, if I'm not mistaken. Kirkez, ball across, just nobody in there. You can see the disappointment on Milosh's face there because he busted gut getting down the left side. He put the ball exactly into the right area, but no Liverpool player had attacked the space and it was cleared by Como. Charlie said, happy for Virgil. This is what he needed. Oh, hang on. Oh, Como nearly scored. Shot was about a foot over the crossbar, but again, they found space, attacked it, and all that was missing was the finish. So Charlie said, happy for Virgil. This is what he needed. The guy played too many games last year. He had deficient midfield and defenders. He will have less to worry about. Yep, and it's just good that we have options because, like you said, we couldn't really rotate Virgil. And part of the idea of rotating players is, of course, to try and keep them at peak levels of fitness, especially when it comes to the business end of the season. Lord Kempo said, in my opinion, Barcola isn't worth the price tag. Well, we don't exactly know the price tag yet, but I understand where you're coming from. As a fan, I'm trying to think about it without the money and just say, we need a player of this type of attributes. He's probably the most accessible or gettable one. And if you look at what wingers are going for in this market, it is an inflated market. So, ultimately, we need him. Might not be perfect, but we need him. And if we get him, it'll be a weight off my mind anyway. Bricktop said, will Isak celebrate if he scores against Newcastle? I should bloody hope so. I mean, he's a better man than me if he doesn't, because I'd be giving it the full fucking eastbound and down. I'd be full giving it all this shit if I scored against them after the crap I was getting. So, yeah, if Isak doesn't, he's a better man than me, because I'd be pulling me jocks down and whipping me nuts out and going, have a bit of that, lads. But I'm a shithouse, so... Liverpool said, late night agenda, a news video, love the content. There will be a video coming out at about 9:45, a news video. So what I'm going to do is record a match reaction after this. Then I'm going to go and make some phone calls and see what I can find out, if I can find out anything. And report back into you guys about 9:45. Yeah, they'd be getting the full Flama Blanca if I was Isak scoring like that. Definitely. Either that or I'd have a t-shirt on that says something like, how's that rat burger tasting, bitch? Something like that if I was Isak, but, he's a professional footballer, so he won't do that. Right, 3.5 minutes to go. Corner from Como comes to nothing there. It was headed across the front of the Liverpool 6-yard box, but goes harmlessly behind. Is it safe yet to say the capitulation won't happen with 3 minutes to go? Why is there a Liverpool Como match ended 0-0? We played 2 games today, mate. The other one was at the AXA, and it was a 35-minute each half game. It's just unusual for us in pre-season. We've done it in a few seasons as well, but that one was on a 11:30 this morning. But not really many of the, what you would class as strongest 11 were out there. Maka got some minutes in it, though, to be fair. Right, still Como in possession. Soboslai's unhappy about something there. He's having a little go at one of the players. Ahmed said Frimpong has been great. No disagreement from me on that one, mate. It's definitely been a very, very good game from Jeremy today. Clears his lines just there as well as we speak. Gravenberch, he's crowded out and Como have won the ball back. About 90 seconds of normal time to go. Gravenberch ships the ball out right side to Victor Munoz. Look at the pace of him. Go on, Victor. Head up now, mate. Pick out the ball. Back into Dom. He's got overlap. Oh, lads, fuck me. They were screaming for it. You could see the disappointment in them. The lads on the far side had an overlap, but nobody got the head up. Soboslai. Oh, unlucky. Gravenberch hits the bar. Unlucky. Lovely bit of play. Edge of the box to Gravenberch. Opens up his body. Right foot. Kind of tries to curl it with the inside of the foot. And it clips the top of the crossbar and goes behind. Unlucky that from Ryan. Unlucky. Slipped into him from Soboslai. Immediately gets it out. Opens up his body. Tries to pick out the top corner. But just couldn't get enough dip on it. So I don't know what's happened. It's a Como corner. They obviously attacked quickly, but the cameraman didn't play quick enough. So we don't know what's happened there, but it's gone behind and it'll be a corner to Como. All I seen was Allison scrambling back and getting a touch on it, but I've no idea what actually happened. So Como take the goal kick quickly. And then there's a ball in. Allison comes out initially, then stays on his line. The Como player tries to lift it over Allison. Allison manages to get a hand on it and tip it behind for a corner. But that was quick thinking from Como and it nearly opened us up. Corner in. Virgil heads it away. And that is that, ladies and gentlemen. The referee puts the whistle to his lips. And it finishes up at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Como 0. And yeah, there we have it. Ali does a good bit of work there right at the end of the game to keep the score 0 for Como and obviously get us a clean sheet. But all in all, a decent run out from the Reds. Obviously, first half was a much better performance. Absolute shout out to Gakpo with a very good game. Frimpong had a brilliant game. Xhaka, a good opening 45, capped off with a goal. And of course, we've seen Ronald Araujo second 45 as well. So yes, well done to the boys today. And next time we see the lads running out, it'll be against Newcastle at St. James's Park next Sunday. Appreciate you all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us today. If I could ask you a couple of little favours before you head off. If you're new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button. Every single one of you helps us along on our journey. And thank you. We'll have a match report coming up in the next few minutes. I'm going to record it now. That'll be out in the next 20 minutes or so. And then I'll have a news video for you guys about 9:30, 9:45 tonight. Where hopefully I can give you a little bit more information on the situation with the likes of Gakpo, where we're at with the situation with Barcola, and a few other bits and pieces. But look, a quick synopsis of the game. Xhaka looked really good. Araujo did not look out of place at all. Frimpong top notch. Yeah, I don't want to talk about negatives, so let's just move along from that one. But it finishes up Liverpool 2, Como 0. Andoni Iraola gets his first win at Anfield as Liverpool manager. And next up, it is Newcastle United away to start the Premier League. So ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you all. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to Connor and the team in the background as well as always. Appreciate you guys. Don't forget to join the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp where you will get the very latest news around Liverpool Football Club from us direct to your phones. You can do that with a link in the description of this stream. We'll see you soon. Much love. Bye-bye.